Good evening. Welcome to another edition of Banter and Babble. I am the... Hi, my two dads. Why has Brian got to say something when I'm trying to do the opening here? Hi, my two dads. What's going on, son? I am the Dude79, and joining me always, my esteemed colleague, Mr. Fanboytone. Mr. Fanboytone.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed you only have 2 beers and I have 3. What's up with that?
Well, I haven't felt great all day.
Oh, we're running this bit again.
Feeling better, though.
Great.
And the waking up at 6 a.m.'s day after, I've been going so smooth. So, to be fair, though, I make up for all that. And to be fair, I make up a lot of ground on the weekends, because I'll tell you what.
Yes, tell us about your your 3-day binge.
Oh, yeah, so Friday night, we went out to dinner. I was supposed to play a game with Trick, actually, and we didn't have a kid, so we went out to dinner. Went to Cody's, by the way.
Ooh, what'd you get?
I got the island. It's like an island shrimp
quesadilla. Oh yeah.
I have never had shrimp in a quesadilla before.
So choice.
And it had mango in it, and you dipped it in like kind of like a sweet and sour-ish type
Yep.
of sauce. It was unbelievable. Like it's one of those kind of like dishes you get at a place that it's so unique. You're like, more people need to know about that.
Oh yeah, it's hella good, dude.
Yeah, it was really good. So, anyways, I drank a couple tall boys there. It's the first time I think I've ever had summer shandy on draft, and they put a slice of lemon in it.
Oh hell yeah! Hell yeah.
I'd never had
You've
that
never
on
had
draft.
summer shandy on draft.
Not on draft.
Oh,
so I was really excited about that. So I drank a couple of those, and I got home and just like had the itis and passed out at some point that evening. But then Saturday, I woke up at a decent time and started my day out right. You know, wouldn't you know? And I drank a lot of beer that night.
Yes, you did.
And then the following day, for the Sunday of the Memorial Day weekend, I decided to drink from about 3 p.m. to 12:30 in the morning.
Just a fucking bender.
I
of
destroyed
epic proportions.
At least 12 to 14. I'm not sure in the count because of the tall boy. 12 to 14 hard seltzers. So I party like it was 1999.
Just a fucking lush.
Yep. And then Monday was spent nothing. I had to recover. I was in bad shape. Bad shape. However, I will say, if it wasn't hard seltzers, I think it would have been more effed up, like if it was liquor or beer or something like that. But yeah, I left you hanging, Tricky. But then, to be fair, you left me hanging Saturday. So it comes around, goes around. It's fair. It's okay though.
Jay Hill, thank you so much for that
Things
stuff.
happen,
Appreciate
man.
you, buddy.
I don't hold that to anybody. That shit happens. But yeah, I tied one off pretty heavily this weekend, and apparently that's the new thing. Every weekend is just gonna be like, "Hey, what'd you do this weekend?" I got drunk.
Well, dude, when you finally get back-to-back days off, that's what you do.
Apparently,
you get out of work on Friday, you're like, oh, I fucking hate my job. I'm gonna drink.
I don't
then
hate.
you wake
That's the
up,
thing is, I don't hate my job.
It's a job. We all hate our jobs.
That's fair. Okay.
I mean, okay, it's nothing against your job, your place of employment, not my place of employment, but we hate our jobs. So you get home Friday, you're like, you know what? I want to get drunk. And then you wake up Saturday, like, fuck, I'm hungover. Fuck, we're one day closer to Monday. I'm going to get drunk.
Yeah.
And then you get drunk on Saturday. And then Sunday, you're like, fuck. And that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Then you go out and do yard work and sweat it all out.
Try to get it done Saturday morning, though.
Oh, you try? Oh, dude, I'm going to try to get mine done Friday. It's because Saturday, Sunday, 95.
Yeah, I saw.
It's going to be hot.
Yep.
It's going to be hot. Like, seriously, it's going to get crazy hot this weekend. I am mowing my lawn fucking Friday before we get to that 90s, dude.
Probably a good idea. I should do the same.
I ain't got time for that nonsense. That type of weather, like, look, man, high 80s, low 90s if it's dry heat. You know it's going to be muggy as fuck and be miserable.
Yeah.
It's going to be nasty.
You're going to have suit pants.
Hopefully my water comes for the pool on Friday. Tricky, I love you, but I hope you don't get it till Monday.
Tricky, if you just hook up a hose to like your sprocket or whatever the fuck it is outside, water, boom.
Brian says naked lawn mowing, dude. Do it. Naked lawn.
Yeah, I don't think the HOA would approve of that one around here.
No. Anyways, but yeah, man, what else you been up to? Actually, hold on for a second.
Yeah.
Do you know where I went on Monday? There's a place that we talk about all the time.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, you went to the man, the myth, the legend's house.
We went to the man, the myth, the legend's house. Okay, so obviously 99 Cafe is going to be opening very soon. That's the place we've been talking about. But I got to go over to the owner, the man, the myth, the legend, Freezy99. He's in the chat once in a while. And we went over to his house for a cookout. And he has a Blackstone. And that's like the next thing that I need in my life is a Blackstone. and he made me some smash burgers.
Yeah, they looked amazing.
They were fucking incredible.
After you sent those pictures, I actually physically walked out to my mailbox to look for the invitation.
He said it'd be there.
What
on
up,
Tuesday.
Freezy?
Dungeons, yeah, dude. I can't wait to see what you do with the Blackstone 7 dungeons. It's amazing. Like, and that was just burgers. Then he showed me pictures of the hibachi he's been making.
Yeah.
The breakfast, like the hash brown. Finally, I'll be able to make proper golden brown, crunchy, crispy hash browns.
They should be.
You know, I tried taking some potatoes and cutting them up and threw them in the air fryer and tried to do them that way. Not bad, not the same. Tried doing, the hash browns in a frying pan. Not bad, nowhere near the same, nowhere where I want it to be. But based on what he was doing on the Blackstone and the photos, like, that right there is what I need in my life. I mean, it's incredible. Like, so, like, I've already told my wife multiple times, I'm like, Father's Day, birthday are both coming up. I don't give a fuck if you want to put them both in at one.
Yeah.
I want a Blackstone. That's what I need in my life. I love to cook, and I want to start doing some of the stuff. But yeah, man, those smash burgers were phenomenal. They were phenomenal. And the way he cooked them on the onions, I don't know if you saw the picture I took. Like,
yeah,
he had
it
the
looked
fried
fucking
onions,
awesome.
And then he put the burger ball on it and then smashed it onto the onions and cooked it. There's butter all over the place. Obviously, my doctor would have looked at that and been like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? I didn't care. It was so fucking good. Then he made mac and cheese. Was the other thing. And then,
on the Blackstone?
No. That was oven baked. And it was really, really good. And then then my wife made bacon ranch potato salad, which was phenomenal. It was really, really good. Overall, a fantastic feast. A really, really good time over there. It was a nice day. Hung out by the pool. Kids had fun. But yeah, we ate good. And as usual, the guy he just fucking knows how to cook.
Man, made my brat cooking look bad then. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, your brats look pretty lame compared to that. The Blackstone,
I know.
I can't wait to do breakfast, eggs, bacon, sausage. I mean, dude, yeah. He said patties are better than doing links on there. Do sausage patties because then you can when you get them down there, it caramelizes the bottom of it and it keeps all the juices in and cooks
that
it.
Crispy on it.
Yes, dude. It's gonna be pretty fun, dude. Dungeons, you have to send photos to the Discord and let us know what you're doing, and then make me jealous, and then hopefully sometime between now and July, I have a Blackstone of my own. And
welcome to the Meat Channel if you're just tuning in.
We talk a lot of food here, and especially the Discord, the food porn channel is pretty phenomenal.
If you're in the Discord and you haven't seen what JG Release is doing right now,
he's going nuts over there right now.
And he does that multiple times throughout the week. He cooks for like an army.
What did he have in that? He was cooking.
I saw salmon in there. I saw some shrimp. Then I saw some ribs and some other stuff going on.
Some other stuff on Blackstone, like a griddle
top
like
on
the other one.
All kinds of stuff going on. Like it
looked
insane.
really, really good. Yes, you have been,
yeah,
Cuddles. You have been. So I need you to get your shit together and start posting photos of White Castle. Okay? So I want to see some White Castle sliders with a bowl of mustard. Pretty amazing. I'm a big fan. Rohit, all top shit. Dude, he had a ton of good stuff in there, Tricky. Like, no joke. If you guys get a chance, go into the food porn channel and look what my man is doing on the grill right now. It looks choice. Other than that, what have you been playing?
Well, I have I'm still on that Marvel's Avengers, dude. I've been on it almost. Today's the first day I haven't been on Avengers in like a week. It's the first day I've had to miss, which is very unfortunate. So I didn't get to do my daily, but I'm just grinding out those champion levels. That's it. I haven't even touched Shadow of the Colossus in over a week. I am just Mortal Kombat. I sprinkle in. I always get in.
Now do you see what I have to deal with when I try to play certain games and then Destiny drops a new season or something? I'm just like, oh shit, here I go, play this, and I forget the games I'm playing that I want to play.
I get it. Hey, what up, Killer?
The struggle is real. Killer Nubis, what's going on?
I totally get it though, but like, I mean, it's just and because I've been down the MMO path before. I just never have had time in my life to find one that's also it would be able to play one at this point in my life, but to find one that's so ultra casual, and this is pretty casual. And honestly, I think what's unique about it is that you just get to play as third person Avengers, and like the controls are they're buttons you're hitting. It's not like there's cooldowns, but like this isn't because it's an actiony style.
And there's so much variety between the
characters all play so insanely different. It's not even the same.
Yeah, and that's like one of the most appealing things about Avengers is like you can hop in there and play a completely different character and just get a much more exhilarating feeling over and over again because you're playing somebody new. And all the characters play so well, and their skill trees are so deep, and there's so much stuff to unlock. It's definitely a time sink, and it's totally worth it. It's an absolute blast of a game, and you mentioned this whole new champion thing that they've dropped in there, and it sounds like the grind
another
is
grind.
real now.
Yeah, you get to level 50, and then you got to grind a 150 power level, and then you got grind. You just grind.
Just grinding, man. I know. I'm watching you, man. I'm watching from the shadows. I wish we could get into it. Right now, we're still doing a lot of raids and grinding out through the season of Destiny 2 with the latest season. That's keeping me busy. But this week, Friday night, possibly, we're aiming for Friday night. There's a new game that dropped this week via PlayStation Plus called Operation Tango, and it's a cooperative game, and it's much like what was the one we were playing just recently? The co-op game that we did the live stream.
Two.
It Takes Two, but this one it's heavily reliant on communicating back and forth, and there's no couch co-op. Like, you have to do this online. So you're going to be, or I'll be looking. One person is handling like the actual on-site tasks, like they're breaking in, they're infiltrating or whatever. The other person is like sitting in a truck somewhere or off-site, walking you through all sorts of different scenarios, monitoring cameras, telling you when to go. So you have to communicate. And obviously this guy doesn't fucking listen at all to anything I say.
One-man army. So
it's going to be a shit show. So we're going to stream that on Friday night. And it's awesome because, much like It Takes Two, if I buy it, or if somebody buys the game, I think we still get it because we have PlayStation Plus. If you buy the game, it comes with a free Friends Pass.
There you go.
So you send an invite to a friend. It's $19.99. You can buy the game and then invite a friend on to play through it. It looks like a lot of fucking fun. I'm really excited to play that on Friday night. So we'll be checking that out right here on Banter and Babble, 9 p.m.-ish. And yeah, it's Friday, so he'll get really shit-faced, and he'll probably be very vulgar and, dismissive of me, and it's going to be a hurtful experience. Friday is not good. It's not good. Let's reschedule. I'm sorry, Cuddles. We got to do it Friday. Just the way it is.
Yeah.
It's the way things work around these parts. Yeah. So yeah, other than that, I've been playing Destiny 2. Excited to check out Operation Tango. We got a lot of good stuff to talk about tonight. But before we get to that, what the fuck are we drinking? Because this is good.
I have never seen this in the store before. I don't know if this is new, and I know half-ass beer reviews on vacation, but this is Dogfish Head Super 8 Super Goza. And it's really tasty. It's like a 5.3 or something like that, I believe. But it's an ale made with red sea salt, prickly pear, mango, boysenberry, blackberry, raspberry, elderberry, and kiwi juices with toasted quinoa.
In other words, fucking delightful.
Quinoa, excuse me.
It's fucking delightful. This thing goes down really smooth.
Yeah.
It's very tasty. It's got a little tart to it.
Yeah, it's really
but it
very
is
smooth.
really, really good.
Very, very chill. This is something that I actually can't wait to rate on the Untapped app when I get home at some point this week. But this is something I could see. This is a 6-pack drinker. You could drink a 6-pack of this and be very like,
oh yeah,
that's a good time. I'm having a good time.
It is really, really good. Definitely worth a look. And where'd you get it at? Where did you get it?
Just got Shamrock over here.
Shamrock's
around the corner.
I might have to go get that for this weekend, dude.
It might be worth it. They've got a couple different things I was kind of eyeballing. I'm like, I've never seen that before. So this one popped out at me when I saw it. I'm like, oh, they have usually when you go around here in fucking Michigan, when you see a new box of something, like, oh, what's this? And you look at it,
it's not Miller Lite.
Right. It's definitely not Miller Lite. That's in the trash section. But you look at the box and you're like, oh, something new, and then it says IPA in it, and then you throw it in the trash as well too. But here we are. This is a new one. It's a Super Goza.
Cuddles does not appreciate your joke.
Cuddles.
Does not appreciate your joke. All right, now, dude, this is first topic we're going to get on is the one we've been leading off for the last couple of weeks, and it has continued, this rivalry, the heated war between our friends Jake Something and Rohit Raju. And tomorrow night we are getting yet another big time matchup, this time a tables match. He's
going to be living inside Jake's world tomorrow. Rohit is.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
So that's you think Jake has the advantage going into
this? This is kind of Jake's world. Like, he's not like super hardcore-y, like necessarily kind of guy, but he's somebody that is a little bit known for his brutality, and you add a couple tables, you're in trouble. So yeah, this is more his realm.
He's basically like Jason Bourne. He'll find anything around you and just beat the shit out of you with it.
Oh yeah.
This is going to be a pretty dope match, and we've seen quite a few promos from these guys all week long, and they're just incredible.
Yeah, they've had some really good content out there last week, especially with some of the promos that they've talked about. Because I mean, these guys, they're clearly our friends. It's really hard again to see our friends at odds like this. They've known each other for at least 13 years, 14 maybe. And their entire career has been very parallel, like we've talked about. And it's shit, dude. Like this is like pinnacle of them coming together on a really a national stage.
Mm-hmm.
They've done some of the tags before, with the Deaners and the Desi, the whole Desi squad or whatever. But this is really kind of the big time, them converging again on each other, and it's telling you.
The hype has been building up, and like Impact's letting these guys do their thing. They're putting the microphone in front of them, and they're both just slaying it with their promos. I mean, they're responding to one another, and you can feel the energy, man. Like this is going to be an epic showdown, and that's tomorrow night right here on Twitch on Impact Wrestling. I think 8 p.m. start time is typically. They got to be somewhere towards the beginning because this is a hyped match. There's a lot of hype building up behind this.
So yeah, so you got time, come hang out with us. We might be able to stream it at the Discord. I know it's sometimes, depending on what's going around in life and everything, we can always do that, but you'll always at least see me for sure on the actual Impact Twitch channel. I'm always in there, so usually blasting cap locks, Rohit or Jake something, pissing everybody else off. So
now last time you predicted that Rohit was gonna scheme his way to a victory. What's your prediction here? Do you think he gets his comeuppance, or do you think he's able to escape the wrath? I mean, Jake is by all accounts out of control right now. Like he is enraged, and will he be able to keep that in check to not let himself get outsmarted?
He's gonna be in Jake's world tomorrow, but if I had to call it, man, I'm gonna say this is gonna be Jake's win, and I hope, regardless of what happens, I hope this isn't the resolution to the conflict, because though I don't like to see my friends at odds like this, I don't want to see this end already either, because this is it's going to be something that we could watch for a minute, and I'd like to see that. So
hopefully they'll explore it more. But I mean, at the very least, it's going to start this might be like one of the climax to this particular story, but this could lead to just an ongoing rift between these two.
Yeah.
And make for stellar matchups. Because obviously, the first match, it was a great matchup. Really excited to see how it plays out tonight. These guys know their chemistry in the ring. They put on some amazing battles, and it's going to be really exciting to see what happens tomorrow night.
It puts us at odds. These guys are longtime friends, and now they're not getting along right now. So, like, if we do friend hangouts in the future, that's going to be awkward. Sweet.
That's going to be really weird.
So yeah.
Just go to the theater or something like that.
Yeah, right.
I don't want to sit between them.
Absolutely not.
I got to sit on the aisle because I got a weak belly.
Yeah.
I got to be able to sneak up the steps, run away real quick.
You
know what I'm saying? Yeah. I think they should end the feud live on B&B with the hot dog eating mat. Dude.
Kogel Viennas.
Can you imagine? We'd have to get like the ultra widescreen just to fit Jake here.
Yeah,
and then, we'd have
shoulders.
And they would just sit there and eat hot dogs. That'd be kind of hot. I'm not going to lie. That'd be pretty dope.
I'm into it.
King Rohit would definitely win any eating contest with Forge Hammer. Think so?
I mean, here's the thing about Rohit. Rohit's eating game is the long game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think Jake in a sitting, like to sit here, Jake would definitely probably eat an entire table's worth of food and be done and go, oh God. Rohit would pick and pick and pick and pick and pick and go for like 2 days and act like he hadn't ate it all. So that dude's metabolism.
God, man, I wish I had that metabolism.
Never stop. That dude never stops.
I don't have that metabolism. Yes, I would eat a whole table of food. How did you know?
Haha, what up, Nug?
Oh God,
Cuddles did say, I do want to point out, yes, other than what we're seeing here, some of the biggest rivalry right now in wrestling is in the Cuddles Wrestling Federation, Sunday night, 6 p.m. here on Twitch, and it's King Cuddles' channel. Shark and Cody Deacon versus Clark, a.k.a. King Cuddles, and myself for the tag team belts. It's been nonstop.
Oh, really?
It's been slobber knocker after slobber knocker.
Slobber knocker after slobber knocker.
There it is. Tune in for those on Sunday nights for a good time, by the way.
Sunday night, 6 p.m.?
Sunday night, 6 p.m., man. It's a great time to hang out and watch some E-Fed and just sit back, have a drink if you need to, and listen to Cuddles babble on about Miller Lite piss or something. I don't know.
But before you get to that, tomorrow night, right here.
Right. Don't forget, tomorrow night right here, Jake and Rohit. We're excited
Tables
to see.
match.
Let's go.
Let's go. Going to be hot. All right, moving on. Our next topic. We checked out a movie for a review this week.
We sure did.
And we're going to talk about Wrath of Man. starring Jason Statham and directed by Guy Ritchie. And, I remember when we saw the trailer for this, we thought it looked really interesting. And it's much like a lot of Guy Ritchie movies, there's a lot of twists. It's a different approach to, the heist genre.
Mm-hmm.
It's a heist flick that's, actually it's a revenge flick that has that has a major heist built around it.
I got Payback feels at times even.
That's another good comparison is Payback with Mel Gibson. And dude, I think you and I both came away pretty happy with this.
Mm-hmm.
I want to get your thoughts on Wrath of.
So to kind of give you the premise of the movie, without giving too much away, basically a bunch of bank trucks are getting robbed, and they're trying to figure out who's doing it, or why, or whatever's going on. And Jason Statham is kind of like the main guy that is trying to, I guess, figure it out or protect or help. Let's say that. So. But then you find out real soon that he's not necessarily who he seems like he is.
No, he's not.
Or he's at least got some background in some certain areas and some things that might be considered a little risque. But there's also a reason that's driving him too. It's a very, very interesting take on, honestly, perspective, because like these it's kind of an anti-hero, I guess, to a degree.
Definitely an anti-hero.
I mean, that's saying it nicely, I think, but. Overall, the story actually was good. I really enjoyed it. Grab my notes. I don't have them all.
Oh, he's got
here.
notes. Guys.
I did take notes, and the reason I took notes, and I don't do this with every movie, but something really caught me off guard, and it was right at the beginning about this, and this is why I started taking notes.
Good. I'm happy you
was
are.
the actual dialogue. The dialogue was very intelligent written.
Yes.
And you
for this type of movie,
you kind of mentioned it like there's almost like a Tarantino lightness to it. I can read. You shut your mouth, Cuddles. Jesus, it's in.
And we're gonna come back to it. We got a Cuddle started a conversation. Statham is my hall pass. We're gonna come back to that because I got a hall pass, but we'll finish with this and then we'll get back to it.
And
Test.
I love the dialogue.
Test.
That definitely grabbed me. Oh shit, who's that guy?
I know that guy. That's the every time we have a fucking giveaway winner, Prime Didac, like a 12-time winner.
What are you doing awake, Gramps? So I like the chapter. They did kind of like a chapter setup too, or like an act kind of. It felt very like I said. At first I thought it was gonna be like a Dante's Inferno, but it wasn't. But I liked that a lot. The cast is really good in it. I thought the cast was great. I feel like there were some members of the cast that were kind of underutilized. We'll get to that shortly. I can't think of his name. The guy from
Jeffrey Donovan.
Jeffrey Donovan. Hadn't seen him in a long time, but I do enjoy me some Burn Notice. It was really surprised to see him. Is it Nick Eastwood?
No.
Scott Eastwood. Yeah, Scott Eastwood. Clint Eastwood's son is definitely underutilized. He's used well, but you can tell already. Like this guy definitely comes from somebody that's the family that's been acting.
Oh yeah, you can definitely pick up vibes of Clint Eastwood.
Yeah,
he's got some of his dad's mannerisms.
Yep, and it's brilliant. I love it. So
Prime says he's stuck in the hull of a cargo vessel in the middle of China Sea. Send help. We will alert the authorities as soon as the show is done.
Yeah.
Somewhere around 11 p.m. Eastern time.
Where were you
if we don't fall asleep and get too drunk.
Were you flying rubber dog shit on a cargo plane to China again? Anybody got that quote? Name that movie.
The stream won't stop. I didn't even hear what you said. I wasn't even listening. I was reading. He said the stream won't stop freezing for me, so all I can see is the chat. Is anyone else having issues with the stream? Does everyone else have a good feed on your end? Just a quick check. We want to make sure.
Hey, get off your Apple IIe, Prime.
Okay, everything. He's using his Palm.
Right, Palm Pilot.
His Palm Pilot. That's cool.
You really didn't get that quote, or did you not hear it?
I didn't even hear what you said. What'd you say?
Flying rubber dog shit in a cargo plane to China, to Hong Kong.
I don't know.
It's from Top Gun. He says it right in the beginning when Maverick and Goose get back. And
sweet, man.
You fucking asshole.
Sweet. No, that's awesome. That's a sweet quote to remember.
What the fuck is a Josh Hartnett is actually one of the notes I kept. Josh Hartnett's in this movie.
Josh Hartnett shows up in this movie, and I was like, what?
Not only is he underutilized, but where the fuck has he been?
He's doing a lot of direct-to-video stuff.
Yeah, and nobody's talking about him. So does Nick Cage, but they happen to be fucking gold, most of them. So
that's because he's Nick Cage.
That's right. I enjoyed they do some time jumping a little bit.
It's
done really well.
Tale. Yep.
And it's done really well. It's good for the storytelling. And I was actually really engaged with Jason Statham's motivation in this movie. Well, too, I saw that, Cuddles. Uh, the bad guy group in this is a little too campy for me. I thought when they introduced them, it's a little campy. They tried to be like archetypes, kind of, but they really were limp-wristed.
They rushed their development
for all of their smart planning. When you get to the end of it later, when things are going on, it just didn't fall that way at all. It's like, yo, you didn't plan for this, or whatever. And that's really about the big piece of it at the end, was that I felt like the ending of the movie dragged on farther than it needed to. Like, they could have ended that movie probably about 20 minutes earlier, and it would have still had the same impact. If they were looking for more dramatization or whatever the fuck it was, they could have done it better. But overall, I thought it was a great movie. A good movie, really good movie. Great. I guess that's debatable. It's the movie I would definitely watch again. I enjoyed it. I was surprised by a lot of things about it. And I'm going to say this. First of all, Jason Statham has never aged. I'm pretty sure he
looks the same every time you see him.
There's a part in this movie where he wakes up after like 3 weeks of being in the hospital, and his 5 o'clock shadow didn't change.
It's like still the perfect length.
Right,
it's like the perfect 5 o'clock shadow.
But you know what? I like Jason Statham. I've never had a problem with him. I like that he's kind of almost typecasted for certain things, and I know you're going to dive into that a little more in a minute, but it works. I think Jason Statham's movies have always been high octane, action-y popcorn movies, and they just work. Transporter is still a movie I would watch at any point if I could. I really, really just enjoy him overall. So, honestly, watch the movie. Love to hear your thoughts on it. Take it away.
Yeah, basically what Tone said, it's an entertaining flick. It's about 2 hours. It's got a lot of decent twists. The violence is very gratuitous.
It's great.
Yeah,
oh yeah.
People get fucked up in a lot of bad ways in this movie, and it doesn't pull any punches in that front. Post Malone has an incredible cameo in this movie. But like you said, man, the entire cast is good. Everyone's really, really good, thanks to the writing. Guy Ritchie is known for his movies to have, like I said, they're very similar to like Tarantino in terms of his writing. They do a lot of character development, a lot of stuff to build up characters so they're three-dimensional. They're not as, they're not cardboard cutouts. They're just, they're well thought out characters. And a lot of characters in this movie have a lot of good scenes to kind of flesh themselves out. Some of them don't, like Josh Hartnett. He's just kind of there, and then he's not. And you're just like, okay, it's whatever. But, you mentioned Statham, like, I've come to the point now where I think Statham is at his best when he's just playing hard-nosed, no-nonsense, unemotional, just rough characters.
Yeah.
That's what he's good at, because he's so intense. He's really, really good at being like this, not soft-spoken, but doesn't have a whole lot to say, and he's just there to kick everyone's ass. When the action ramps up, he's good at what he does. He's convincing.
Yeah.
He's entertaining to watch. He's good with, when it comes, Crank was great. Crank was really good. But Guy Ritchie movies, like I said, this movie is a typical Guy Ritchie movie. He tries to get a lot of twists in there. And, the only issue with this movie is it requires some serious suspension of disbelief to make it to the finish line towards the end. There's a lot of things that we talked about. We won't get into it to spoiler, but there's a lot of questions we have, like how did certain characters get out of certain scenarios, and how were they able to make it to where they made it to? And you're just like, this, okay, that's, I can, throw that to the wind, just forget it, not think about it. But entertainment-wise, 2 hours, a lot of action, good performances, everyone's good. The writing is good. The action's good. It's entertaining. It's an entertaining flick. Is this going to win any Oscars or anything? No. But for 2 hours, you sit down, you pop some popcorn, you have a couple beers, and you have a good time. It's entertaining. That's what it is.
You like, even though it was long at the end, I never felt like bored with the movie. I just felt like, okay, it's dragging on a little bit longer. I was engaged the entire time.
But like Huddle says, Statham made the last couple of Fast and Furious movies. He's the same person in every movie, just about. The Meg, which was an all-out comedy. He's basically the same character there that he is here and every other movie. But you don't need him to do anything like that. He does have some dry comedic timing.
He does.
But that's more dependent on the writing itself. It needs to be very good, but it's not so. His delivery is there, but it has to be really, really good writing. But that's all you really need from Jason Statham. I don't need him to go out and try to fucking Tom Hanks a movie and carry it with an amazing performance. He's just really entertaining. But in Spy, he mixed it up, played a bit of it. He did. And, there's sometimes, Blanco makes a good point. I forgot about Spy. He is somewhat entertaining in that. But for the most part, all of his movies, what you see here is what you get from Jason Statham. And it works, man. It works. And it's when he's banging Amy Smart in public and Crank. He peaked there. That was...
he peaked twice, actually.
He peaked, yeah. Wow-a-wee-wa. But if you get a chance to watch it, definitely take a look. It was entertaining. It's fun to watch. You know, it's a Guy Ritchie movie through and through. There's a couple of scenes that'll have you scratching your head, but it doesn't really matter because you're just like, yeah, I'm on board. And the cast is really good. Even Andy Garcia, I think he's an uncredited role. You know, he appears in a couple of scenes just like, oh, it's Andy Garcia. He's so cool. Andy Garcia's a cool dude. So good cast, good performances, good action. It's Snatch. Cuddles. I might watch Snatch tonight. That's another Guy Ritchie joint. Snatch.
Probably his most famous.
Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels is really, really good. He also did what was what we were talking about? Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah, the Sherlock Holmes with Judd
Jr. and Jude Law.
Jude Law. Just
Almost
said Judd Nelson. You want the horns?
Judd Nelson or Judge Reinhold? Which one is it? Okay.
What?
Judge Reinhold.
He's dead.
Is that?
Okay.
He's not. I mean, he should be. I think he got in trouble on a plane.
Does anybody care?
Recently.
Yeah.
Judge Reinhold was amazing in the 80s, man.
In the 80s. But some people have made it out of the 80s.
And Judge Reinhold
he didn't transition well out of it. He's always still wearing that stupid pirate outfit.
Brad. What a character.
What a character.
All right. We're going to talk some gaming news. We got a lot of stuff.
Do we?
A lot of stuff.
Wow.
Going on in the world of gaming. Well, dude, E3.
There it is.
Is week. Wait, it is. No, it starts next weekend. From the 10th to the 15th, I believe, is when E3 is. And last time I checked, dude, it's 2021. It is 2021. But no, E3 is coming up, and obviously, you know, you start getting those reveals, you start getting announcements that lead up to E3. And this past week, we've gotten a lot of good stuff. We got a ton of gameplay demos or videos. We're going to talk about those in a few minutes. First thing we want to talk about is what came out today. Sony released a post on the PlayStation blog releasing an interview with Herman Hulst, who's the head of Worldwide Studios. And it was an interesting post because he talks about where some of the studios are headed, the things they're doing, but then they got to talking about God of War, and the first thing that they mentioned is that God of War, the project started a little later, so we decided the decision to push the game out to next year to ensure that Sony or that Santa Monica Studio can deliver the amazing God of War game that we all want to play. Now, first things first, there were some people that were shocked by this. Nobody should be shocked by this.
None of our crew was shocked.
They announced God of War, the sequel, like last fall with no video, no nothing. We don't even, dude. God of War Ragnarok isn't even, we don't even know if that's the fucking title of the game.
Oh, it's got to be.
It said God of War Ragnarok is coming. It was like a tagline. We don't even know if it's called God of War Ragnarok.
That's true.
That's how little we know.
We just know Ragnarok's coming.
We know Ragnarok is coming. It's like winter is coming. Oh, God, hopefully it doesn't end like Game of Thrones.
Oh, don't even do that.
No, I'm just joking. But no, this shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. We literally got nothing
forever
in terms of video or anything. We don't know anything about this. So for them, I know they mentioned that they were kind of hoping that the end of 2021 would be able to come out. But I mean, with the pandemic kicking in and everything like that, I mean, it was just unrealistically, I don't think anybody was shocked that this got delayed to 2020. Now, the other interesting bit of news out of this interview was that they talked about how Herman, they asked Herman, you know, what about PlayStation 4 and whatnot? And he goes, it is very much still a part of the thing. You can't build a community of over 110 million PS4 owners and then just walk away from it, right? I think that'd be bad news for fans of PS4 and frankly not very good business. And this is the big part. Where it makes sense to develop a title for both PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 for Horizon Forbidden West, the next God of War, Gran Turismo 7, we'll continue looking at that. And if PS4 owners want to play that game, then they can. If they want to go and play the PS5 version, that game will be there for them as well. Now, the only problem with that is...
And you've seen games that can only be enjoyed with the full range of PlayStation 5's features and power. At PlayStation, we believe in generational transitions, and we put years of work into making them happen. We want you to enjoy the unique benefits of moving from one generation to the next.
Okay. That's Jim Ryan. And we all know who Jim Ryan is.
Oh, yeah.
And Jim Ryan was real big on saying, we believe in generations. We believe in utilizing and harnessing the power of the PlayStation 5 and bringing the games to that system so our fans can see what these games look like. That's all bullshit now, Jimbo. Because now you have Horizon Forbidden West coming to PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5, God of War coming to PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5, and Gran Turismo 7 coming to PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. Now, there was this almost like this faux outrage, as there always is when it comes to gaming. This, oh my God, Sony lied. They misspoke. They were definitely wrong. I mean, obviously, Jimbo said that. We actually saw a Gran Turismo trailer that came out that said PlayStation 5 exclusive on it. It says it right there on the trailer, PlayStation 5 exclusive. Everyone's like, what the fuck, Sony? You lied. You guys are scumbags. Well, okay, now look. I understand why it sucks. Because you look at games like Horizon, God of War, Gran Turismo. These are tentpole franchises for PlayStation. These are typically visual delights. These are games that take advantage of the systems that they're on. Now, you look at this, and you're like, okay, you got these 3 big games. Yes, they're going to be playable on PlayStation 5. I'm sure they'll have some kind of performance enhancements or whatever. We didn't get into any of that stuff. But at the same time, they have to take into consideration when they're developing this game, tech from 2013. It's tech from 2013. So now everyone's like, well, I'm not going to be able to see these games at their best. And it does suck, man, because if you look at this, look how it's lining up, God of War 2 will be out in 2022. It's going to be built with the PlayStation 4 in mind. That means, by that count, it might not be till 2026 until we see a God of War that takes 100% advantage of the PlayStation 5. When you think about that, that is frustrating. That is kind of disappointing. Like, fuck, man, I really wanted to see.
But we don't know that, though, right?
But I mean, I'm just saying, I'm just going based by the number. I mean, God of War came out in 2018.
Sure.
This one's going to come out in 2022.
Right.
We know they haven't started on the new one yet. I mean, they're still working on this one. So it's a ways out before we see a God of War that is just built solely for the PS5. Whether it's 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, this is a massive title that's going to be, in a way, held back a little bit. And I don't want to say it's held back, but it's got to consider old-ass tech.
So, and Tricky, we'll get into that in a moment, too. So, see, I don't know. I look at it differently. I feel like they were building on the because the PS5 tech has been around probably for longer than we expect. Like, let's say graciously, like a year and a half when they first announced it, or about the time. They knew what the tech was going to do for the PlayStation in like their, prototypes or whatever. So I think that they're still building for the 5, but they're just making it dumbed down so they can print it on a PS4 disc and get it out there. Mm-hmm. And the reason I think they're doing that and why this is happening, and maybe you're going to get to this, I don't feel like it's gonna affect what it would look like on the PS5. I think if anything, they were building for PS5, and now they're later trying to say, let's make this fit on a PS4.
Do you think maybe they were early development was with PS4, and they were like, well, hey, look, here comes the PS5, and let's put it on the PS5? Or
I'm sure they were.
It had to have been part of the conversation, because you're not going to have Jim Ryan go out there and be like,
right, but here's the difference.
We believe in generations.
Even if it was Microsoft or anybody, it's still in house. So for them to transition to a PS5 and start from ground up and do it almost like, whether they would have to do it from ground up again. I just figured that would be an easy translation. I think if anything, it's just more of them being able to, build it to play on a PS4 as well. I think they had the PS5 in mind the entire time, but because of what Tricky said, and it was release more PS5s. Well, they couldn't because of the pandemic.
Right.
And this is why they're releasing it on PS4, is not because they were building on 4. I think they're releasing on 4 because they can't get enough PS5 sales out there. Mm-hmm. And if they put it out, let's say in October, right? And they've got just arbitrary numbers that make no sense. 5 million PS5s out there. Well, almost 5 million people are going to buy God of War, and that's it. However, you have 110 million people on the old system that want to play it, and probably would, at least 60, let's say 50 million even bought it, right?
Absolutely.
So it makes more sense for them to do it at this point. Now, yeah, it's a goofy way to spin it because you had Jimbo there saying blah, 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 but nobody took into account that there was going to be a pandemic 6, 8, 9 months later.
True. So
everything's got to kind of like change for that. And that's what I think they're doing, is that they're looking at it, hey, we're dumping a bunch of money into God of War for PS5. Great, we're going to have it now. However, we're going to sell X amount compared to, oh, look at this. There's 110 million people that still play on PS4. Let's make it fit on that disc as well too. So, and
and people are saying, well, it's Sony trying to make their bottom line, make it look good, and it is. But I mean, at the same time, they are looking. And everyone's like, they're not looking out for our best interest. I bought a PS5 to play this game. Yes, and I get that. I bought a PS5 to play those games as well. But at the same time, if I'm one of the people that can't get a PS5, I run the risk if they just put this out, if they just put Horizon Forbidden West, if they put that on PlayStation 5 only this holiday, when we already know, Sony's already acknowledged, look, this is going to be hard to come by through 2022. Yeah. Now you run the risk of all these people with PlayStation 4s who can't get a PS5 to have the game spoiled for them.
So they're going to complain one way or another, and that's what I think the whole point is.
You know what I mean? The thing is, the people who are complaining everyone's complaining from all different angles, and I understand all the arguments. Like, I really do. I want to see God of War built for the PS5 only. I want to see that shit. You know, we look at games like Returnal and Ratchet and Clank. We've seen in videos what these games can do with this hardware. We want to see something like fucking God of War with this talented studio of Sony Santa Monica behind it, utilizing the power of this system. And they can't because they have to consider the PS4. And God, think about the base PS4. What's gonna fucking happen to that system when you try to play God of War on it?
Maybe catch on fire. I don't. I guess maybe it's just me, but I don't look at it like that at all. Like, I just figure that these guys are so in house, and my assumption is, of course, we're just pulling shit out of there. We could be wrong about all of it. That they were building on the PS5 for the system, but they're like, we're gonna get a fraction of the sales now because we don't have 5s out there. Let's put it on a PS4 disc one way or another. And I don't think it's going to affect their development. I mean, again, I don't know, but to me, I just feel like they could just like dial a knob a little bit and say, okay, well, the graphics are a little bit more square than the round that we got on the PS5 and put it on that disc. And, you know, again, like, you know, exactly. Xbox, you know, they've been super friendly about cross-gen. And one of our complaints has been with Sony is that they haven't been friendly enough with cross-gen gameplay and things like that, and everybody be able to get a taste. So, you know, and they can put these PS5 push-outs for old God of War, make it look like a PS5 game. Sure, maybe it's not fully using it, but I think that Ragnarok's going to be having a little bit more of the ball sack.
And you see, the other thing to think about, too, is, you know, at first everyone's like, oh, man, these games are going to get held back. I go back and I watch Ghost of Tsushima on PS5. I look at God of War on PS5, Last of Us Part 2 on PS5. These games look fucking nuts with those enhancements. So obviously, these aren't PS5 native versions of these games, but you can see what these games can do when the developers allow the PS4 coded games to utilize what they have. I mean, when you look at things like dynamic resolution, or if you look at uncapped frame rates, those things, the dynamic resolution changes with the system as you know what's going on screen. If there's a lot going on, the resolution comes down. Whereas if you have the PS5, and it's the same with Xbox Series X, you put these games on there with this dynamic res and the unlocked frame rate, and they're able to harness the raw power of that PS5, you're going to hit that higher resolution. You're going to hit that high frame rate. You're going to still get the best version of that game, even if it's not the PS5 version. And the last time I checked, God of War, fucking Ghost of Tsushima, and Last of Us Part 2 were fucking amazing games to play. They were fucking amazing to play. They already looked good on PS4 hardware. They looked fucking great. But at the end of the day, these games were fucking fun as hell to play. And for Horizon Forbidden West, God of War, the sequel, they're going to be fucking fun to play, and they're going to look good. Now, are these PS5 native games? No. But it doesn't fucking matter. These games are that good.
Yeah. I look at it as like it's you know, more if you can't get 5s out there and you're not gonna make sales. It was probably partly a business decision as well too. So they got to eat a fucking bag of shit for it. But you know, it's again one of these things where, you know, like I clearly want to see it, you know, raw PS5 game and not something they got to figure out for 4. But I mean, it's the same kind of thing even with Halo. Like I still don't know if they're gonna push out a lot of Xbox One versions of Halo Infinite because they're trying to build for the Series X. You know. And it's good and bad. Like you want to be able to include everybody, sure, but like at some point you do have to have that cutoff.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, again, I think it's one of those things where there's a lot of right now. I think there's just more things to navigate, and I think that decision was based, I think, partly on business as well too, because I'm sure they're dumping a fuck ton of money into these games, and they got to figure like, you know, listen, we're gonna sell 5 copies of Gran Turismo 5 on PS5. We'll sell 6 if we put it on PS4.
Right. Yeah, and I think that's really what it comes down to. It's just the bottom line. It's the numbers it needs to make. These games are going to be really, really good games. They're going to be fun to play. They're going to benefit from the PS5 in certain ways. And at the end of the day, everyone loves these games. These games have been critically acclaimed. There's no reason to think that just because it's not utilizing the PlayStation 5, that these won't be Game of the Year candidates.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, it's really that simple. They're just that fucking fun to play. Don't worry about it. But I mean, at the same time, I do feel like PlayStation misspoke They fibbed a little bit because, when everyone was trashing Microsoft for, we'll support the previous gens and next gen, everyone's like, oh, well, that's stupid. And then Sony came out like, we believe in generations. And everyone's like, oh, yeah, they're all about forward thinking and worrying about the current consoles. But at the end of the day, they're not. They're doing the same thing that Microsoft's doing. But maybe the pandemic played a part.
I think
in that.
that's what I think. I think if they could have got all the 5s out that they wanted and they said the 5 sales, I would imagine that would be like that way too. And I think it's just different ways of looking at it, honestly. And we still don't know when we're going to see PS5 rounds. For anybody to get them. Like, I haven't heard about PS5s in a month or two.
Right.
About them even being out for sale. So, I think that definitely probably played a big part. And I think Microsoft looks at their gaming and their software a little bit different with their ecosystem than Sony does. And I think Sony does actually believe in generational. They took a pretty serious look at that during the PS4, and it worked for them. And I see both. Like, I see the value of certain games going on across generation, especially if it's a newer game. I'm not big into retro gaming, so like what Microsoft does doesn't really get me overly excited, except for a few original Xbox games. Mm-hmm. But there's not a lot of 360 games I'm gonna be like, oh sweet, I can play this on my One or whatever like that. But there is value in a lot of those perspectives. But I think this is more of a business decision this time.
Now here's my question for you, and I think this is something that's worth talking about or thinking about. After these games release, God of War, Gran Turismo 7, and Horizon Forbidden West, do you think after that point is the cutoff where you say, okay, PlayStation 4, you've served your purpose, you've got your titles here, now let's fully move on to it? Because at some point you have to say, look, okay, we've done what we had to do. The system was supported for as long as it's been supported. I mean, we're going on, the PlayStation 4 came out, 2013? Yep. We're going on, we'll be at 9 years next year when God of War comes out. At some point, you gotta be okay. Look, we're done.
Yeah,
Let's move forward. I think God of War has to be the final one.
I'm usually the person that says, you need. I believe more in generational. I'm typically that guy. I get why, because Microsoft works so hard with third party, so it makes sense for that ecosystem. But again, there needs to be a line, and I'm always that guy. Like, cutoff. Normally, I would be like probably more like, oh, there needs to be a cutoff. But again, we can't even get PS5s out in the world. So I think there's a lot more going on that they don't have control of. And to, not eat massive losses, they got to be able to sell that disc. And if they can, arbitrary number again, 5 million PS5s, if they all buy one, that's great. But there's 100 and some million over here that if even a fraction of them bought them, that's moolah, cheddar cheese.
And that's what you do. Because there are going to be a lot of people with PlayStation 4s that are going to want to play these games. That they know they can't get a PS5. They want to play this game when it's hot, when it comes out. So they'll buy it on PlayStation. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, that is what it is. He sounded like Kermit there.
Kermit the Frog.
Kermit the Frog?
You're green.
Fuck those PS4 peasants. Come on, Brian. Brian, that's not right. Yeah. It's not their fault there's scalpers everywhere that are ruining it for everybody. That's why we can't have nice things.
Bottom line, though, nobody was surprised by this push by God of War.
Oh, the God of War thing.
I thought it was already coming out
anybody
next year,
who is outraged over that is full of shit. They don't even own a PS4 for a PS4. They don't even game. They're just like, I'm just mad to be mad.
Good time. Great game.
All right. Now, we talked about some of the titles that we saw. We saw a lot of gameplay. 100 million people who can't get a PS5. Nothing to do with that. A guy that I played Destiny with Pickle, I don't know if you've seen this game, but Springsdoor, he has been, every time that an announcement goes out, PS5 is available here, or Xbox Series X is available, Piccolo is sending him these links, and every time he gets there, he gets in there and he's got it in the cart. But you can't close.
How about Pick, instead of being a piece of shit and send him, just buys them and has them cash app it?
No, I think he gets off on watching Springs suffer.
That sounds like Pick.
And I kind of do too. I kind of like to make fun of him when we hop on Destiny 2. I'm like, hey, Springs, how's this level look with the 105 field of view? Oh, wait.
Right.
Or we load into a raid, and I'm like, hey, we're already at the final boss. Are you still loading in? Because we're already ready.
Assholes.
I know. I get off on that sort of thing. Mm-hmm. The other day, I sent a video to him to inspire him. I was like, hey, Springs. I stayed right here, and I was like, here's my PS5 here. And I was like, you keep hustling, dude. You'll get it. We know the struggle you're going through. And I walked over there by the other PS5. I was like, eventually you'll get yours, but we understand what you're going through.
Right, you're an asshole.
Because I'm a fucking scumbag, and I love rubbing it in people's faces, especially my friends. I love being a prick to my friends. Right?
Hang on.
Moving on. All right. So yes, we saw lots of gameplay this week. 4 big titles. Well, 3 big titles. One of them is pretty big to me. I'm really excited about the fourth one. And I have a PS5 and I barely played it. Oh my god.
Sell it to Springs Door.
Yeah, sell it to Springs Door for like $700. I'll buy it. All right. So to continue off the Sony news, the first video that we saw last week was a 14-minute cut gameplay from Horizon Forbidden West. And dude, if anyone is concerned with how these games are going to look and run on a PlayStation 5, you're fucking goofy.
You were the one just crying about it.
I'm not crying. I would love to see it, but at the same time, I'm not concerned about it because this fucking trailer right here, this gameplay, 14-minute gameplay video was incredible.
Brought to you by the makers of Killzone.
And hopefully their second team's working on SOCOM, but I digress. I know. Hey, man, I'm just saying it's possible, right?
Rahala!
I used to love that when he throw the grenades like that. But no, man, this was a really cool reveal. We got to see some of the new features that Aloy can utilize. She has a grappling hook.
Yeah.
Everyone fucking loves a grappling hook.
Apparently.
And with everything that goes on in the world of Horizon, yep, there you go. Jay Hill's like another game Brent didn't finish on stream. Sorry, Josh. I am hoping. I'm hoping Guerrilla comes out and says we're gonna add a 60 frame unlock, much like all these other PlayStation games, the PS4 games. If they can add a 60 FPS unlock to this, I'll be back in it. I'm waiting for that. I am waiting for the 60 FPS. It has to be coming at some point. You haven't even fucking turned it on, so I want to hear you talk about it. You played through like the intro.
I'm like 3/4 of the way through that game,
bro. Oh, bullshit.
I am.
You're a fucking liar,
close
dude.
To the end.
You're an absolute liar. But I mean, look.
True.
This game looks gorgeous.
Yeah, it looks really good.
I mean, it looks really, really, really good. And we were talking about she's got a new grappling hook. She has the ability to stay underwater. She has a new mask where she can stay submerged underwater for a prolonged period of time. And I mean, just look at this shit, dude. I just want this on my big screen.
She don't think that maybe she's a little warm and all that, set up. It's tropical.
It's very tropical. They've obviously moved from the Colorado setting over to San Francisco. Obviously, Forbidden West. That's why we're out this way. I think part of it was in Colorado. I mean, obviously you couldn't tell because it was, apocalyptic future.
Right.
But we also see that she has a parachute now too, where she can kind of drop down stealthily on top of enemies or glide for long distances. But I mean, I'm serious. This is gonna be one of those times where I'm gonna try to talk about this game and just marvel over this video. But yeah, it looks incredible. We also saw there's actually, I will see if we can get up to it to that point. I know it's a little bit further along, but she has this awesome takedown animation that I showed you, where she's in the middle of this combat. And she's making her way through this world. She's trying to find her friend Aaron, and she finds out there's these raiders that can ride. They've managed to take control of the robots. So now you've got these raiders, and they're like, yeah, we can control these things too, yo. So now they become a very dangerous nemesis. But Tone, I know you've seen bits and pieces of the trailer. I know you played a considerable amount of this game. Are you excited for this game to drop in December? I mean, what did you take away from this trailer that you were just really impressed with?
I am very excited. A lot of the hair in the background, Trick mentioned her hair. Hair is such a very, we talked about it beforehand, and I'm not going to nitpick about it because there's just nothing that they can do about the technology forever, probably. But it looks good. It flows really well. Look at that. This is where you're starting to see where
got smoke bombs now.
Yep, that solid state drive is going to take place, and all the particle things that it's going to be doing. Like, look at that smoke that you just saw. I mean, look at the flora and the fauna, which also, as you know, in video games for decades, flora and fauna are sometimes some of the hardest things to do. Now, guys like Naughty Dog with Uncharted have been able to figure that out pretty well early on. But to see a studio like Guerrilla Games come from where they have and move into what they're doing and how they're able to utilize the tech that they're working with. I mean,
the Decima engine is
one. I mean, this is fucking. I mean, I know. Listen, I know we can sit here and talk about PC Master Race, but some of us are just mostly console gamers, so we don't want to spend our children's life savings on graphics cards. But I mean, look at that water. Even I mean that kind of shit. Like, that's such a big piece of it. Everything.
And see, this will allow people to play through the game a little bit differently. Now you'll be able to stay submerged for a longer period of time, move around enemies. You know, if you don't want to go in making noise, you got more options. And like I said, this is obviously captured on PlayStation 5, and this looks pretty fucking impressive.
Yeah.
You know, we talk about, we hear all these people talking about, oh, the PS4 is going to hold it back. This looks nuts. This doesn't look like it's being held back by anything.
Yeah, Forge.
It truly, and it really does. You know, Forge makes a great point. It truly looks next gen. Like, I'm not watching this going, this is from 2013. This is them getting the best out of the PS4. This shit looks dope. And then obviously the video was uploaded at 30 frames. They haven't talked about whether there's a performance mode, but I have to believe if this is, a PS4 version of this game running on PS5, there probably has to be a performance mode. I mean, we've seen them add it to all their other games, just about except for the original Horizon Zero Dawn, which we're waiting on. It would be really nice to have. But, I mean, I can't stop watching this shit.
Yeah. Pretty amazing, regardless. Like, it just, again, like, everything, this entire setting, like, it almost at times just looks like it's an FMV, like an old school, like, you're just getting, like, some, trailer or, a non-gameplay. And a lot of this is transitioning right into gameplay. Like, it's pretty wild these days.
I want to see if I can get to the scene. This is a 14-minute video. We won't watch the whole thing, but I do want to see if I can get to that fight scene that I showed you.
Timestamp it?
Didn't. I should have.
Dumb.
No. Oh, here we go. All right. So anyway, she goes through this village. She's taking out people stealthily, and then she obviously doesn't with this guy, but beats the shit out of him. And my understanding is, like, I like the combat in the original one. I preferred the arrows because I felt like some of the melee combat was a little loose.
It was very
loose.
Good.
And it looks like they've improved on a lot of things, but this fight right here is fucking awesome. You'll see this new animation that for one of her abilities, that stuns the enemy. It is fucking wild. Hang on a sec. Yeah, here it is. Are you serious? That's all right during the act.
Yeah, they go into like a mini
cut scene.
That's like, what the fuck? Dude only mushroom stamps it. That's right, Forge. Yeah.
Dude only mushroom stamp. Jeez. But just an epic battle. And then obviously we get to the end of the trailer here, and you get this thing. I mean, damn, dude. And that's one of the things that I always liked about playing through the original one, even though I haven't beaten it yet, is some of the encounters are just fucking insane. Absolutely insane. I mean, say what you will about this running on PS4 hardware, but this running on PS5 looks pretty fucking good. I love this explosion right here. Look at that. That is nuts. Josh, I've actually continued playing it off stream. Just so you know. Continue playing it off stream.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, buddy.
Check his trophies, see if he's lying.
No, go ahead and check my trophies. I appreciate it if you did.
Yeah.
I would appreciate it if you did. But no, very, very cool review. Like I said, we got a lot of new stuff we found out about Aloy. Now, my question to you is, dude, we are 2 weeks away from E3. Now, obviously, we know Sony is not doing any kind of a major event at E3. We do know that I believe Xbox is on June 11th, and Nintendo is hosting a Direct on the 15th. Now, it's interesting. Nintendo sent out their tweet today saying we will have a Nintendo Direct on June 15th that will focus on software.
Yeah, they're not going to talk about that hardware at all.
That's because there's rumors that shit's going to be announced tomorrow, and it's going to be up for pre-order on Friday.
The new hardware?
The new hardware. There's been a lot of speculation. There's a lot of rumors going on right now. I mean, obviously, what was it? Amazon, I think it was Amazon Mexico or something like that, had the listing, and they had to pull it really quick. There's been listings popping up everywhere for a Nintendo Switch Pro.
$300 or $400, we know.
I think people are speculating it's going to be either $399. Some people are saying it's going to be $299, and then the base one's going to drop down to like $200. But we don't know that for sure. But Sony does not. But then the other rumors starting to pop up that Sony is sending out invites for an event at the end of June. Talk about games coming to PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, and PlayStation VR 2. So we know that Sony's not going to be there. But my circle back, what I was going to ask you is, if they're showing this 2 weeks before E3, what else do they have in store? We obviously have Summerfest. Sony is going to be a part of that. They won't. I don't know if it's not like a Sony event.
Tokyo Game Show's not till like August or September.
But if they're leading with Horizon Forbidden West, which they are targeting holiday 2021, but in that interview, Herman Hull said we're not certain about locking down the date yet, but they're aiming for holiday 2021 for Horizon. What else could they possibly show
You know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm done speculating when it comes to Sony specifically
They're
because
very good at.
well, it's because we get all hyped up about SOCOM or some bullshit and it never happens.
Oh, don't get me started. Don't
You
get
know,
me
like
started.
I honestly I really don't know, and I think the part of the reason I don't know again, I think the pandemic has thrown a wrench into everything. Development has taken a toll. Clearly, it's not just hardware at this point; it's affected software. So I don't know. They could throw out a morsel or two about something, I suppose, but like, man, if I had to I mean, I don't care about this PS5 version of Last of Us 2. I don't even know if there's even been any rumors of the next Uncharted or anything, or we jerk off into a sock every night when we fall asleep to possible SOCOM, but that's probably never going to happen. That's not true.
Forge,
come on.
That's you're treading.
You're treading
dangerous territory right now, friend.
There's
I love you, Forge. I will ban you for a minute. Keep speaking that filth.
But yeah, I mean, another Spider-Man. I don't know. Now with Miles come out, I think they're gonna dig somewhere else. Like, but at this point,
oh really? You don't think they would do one with Peter and Miles?
Not right now.
Oh.
I think they're gonna wait on that one.
Okay.
I think if anything, it should be a new Twisted Metal. Happen either.
Well, Insomniac's not gonna make a new.
I know, but
I can't believe Forge will come in here and speak that shit, man. That hurts, Forge. That hurts. All right, so the next video that we saw that we're going to check out is we're going to look at the Far Cry 6 trailer. That dropped. This is coming out on October 7th. It is coming from Ubisoft. This is a Ubisoft original. Calling their title, their games now Ubisoft Originals.
Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
well,
all platforms except for Switch.
J-Hill, SOCOM, never heard of it. Get the fuck out of here, J-Hill. Go out. Leave.
Twisted Metal would be
Go
awesome,
outside
but...
and come back when you get your shit together. SOCOM's the greatest multiplayer game ever.
See David Jaffe had Cliff Bleszinski.
I did. He was at him on today.
Was it?
Didn't get a chance to watch it, but I did want to see it.
Curious about that.
It's funny to get those two guys on there, man. Cliff and Jaffe. I bet that was a hell of
a... I know I want to see it.
Mm-hmm. I remember when kids used to lag switch SOCOM. That was a thing, man. Lag switching was pretty brutal. I am so excited for Far Cry 6. Yes, this trailer was really, really good. Like, really good. Obviously, when you think of Far Cry games, I've played a lot of Far Cry games, and a lot of them are very similar, but they do it so well. And they always seem to add just enough, a new wrinkle to the gameplay, to the way that you play the game, and how the options they give you. And this doesn't look to be any different. Like, there's a lot of cool stuff that they show off in this trailer. It's a tropical setting in the country of Yara. You're playing as a revolutionary, Donnie Rojas, which you'll be able to either choose between a female or a male option. Some cool gameplay elements here. Some changes that they're making to the game. Specifically, whenever you play a Far Cry game, you're always walking around with your guns out. And if an enemy sees you, they just, if you go by anybody hostile, they would just start shooting. In this game, it will allow you to holster your weapon, so you can move around and blend in with the locals.
Fucking 2021.
Which is pretty sweet, man, because you can sit there and I like playing these games kind of stealthily. I like to kind of go in, get things done without raising much of a ruckus. Obviously, it's fun as hell when things go crazy and you're blowing everything up, but I like being given the option to kind of approach missions from a different perspective. So it's really cool. It's a minor thing, but the fact that you can holster your gun and make your way through the entire game without people shooting at you because you're not a threat and you're blending in, that's pretty interesting.
They've got a cult following. It's one of those kind of game series where if the wheel isn't broke, don't fix it. Like, people love this series. Cherry's a big fan. It's one of her favorites. I know Megasaurus Rex is a big fan. I know a good handful of people that love Far Cry games.
Oh yeah, they always have really good villains. And Cherry Squishy just said the villain in this one is always a good bad guy. The guy playing
Giancarlo Esposito.
The one thing I've always liked about the Far Cry games is they always put some thought into their villains.
Yeah, oh yeah.
They're never just cookie cutter villains. They have depth. They have some interesting motives. And it's always kind of an exciting game, and it's over the top, man. The action is over the top, but the gunplay always feels good. All the different abilities, dude. There's a fucking gun in this game. Did you watch this entire trailer?
No.
There's a gun in this game where he's gonna craft a gun. You'll see it here in a second. That is built like it has like a CD. It's built out of like a CD player. It has CD components to it, and as you're going around, before you start shooting, the CD is playing Macarena. It's hilarious, man. Like, you're just walking down the street and you have this one right here, this gun right here. It has a CD and it's playing the Macarena. And then you shoot.
Wait, are you shooting CDs?
I think so.
Did they steal that from the fucking Generation X Aerosmith game from like
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Cuddles? Will you look up the Aerosmith game where you
Cuddles
shot
is
CDs?
probably passed out tired.
Somebody out there.
Nobody fucking cares.
King
about that.
Cuddles, are you there?
Nobody fucking cares.
Does anybody know what I'm talking about? It was from like the early '90s. It was on like some crazy system, but it was you were playing as Aerosmith.
Sounds so.
And you
stupid.
you honestly don't know what I'm talking about.
No, nobody does. Nobody.
Blanco,
knows what
somebody
you're talking
knows.
about. Thank you.
That's
no
bullshit.
one knows what you're talking about, old
Bullshit.
man.
Thank you, Blanco. I know what I'm talking about.
Blanco's just saying that to be nice. He's trying to save you.
It was early '90s, and you were like terrorists were like capturing like groupies or something, and
that sounds
you would shoot
fucking made
CDs.
up.
Was it Sega CD? Yeah, it was Sega CD, something like that. I was gonna say I think it was a Sega system.
Go home, Tony.
Yeah.
You're drunk.
Fuck off. No, you would shoot CDs.
Get 'em,
I'm
Ryan.
telling you.
Nobody knows what you're talking about.
Fuck you all.
Look at this. So here's look at your little companion.
That's
He's a
not
little-
nice.
Yeah, no, I mean that dude. That's adorable. Look at you. That's an adorable looking dog.
Fuckers.
But no, it looks fun, man. It looks fun. I like the things that, you can ride horses. There's different vehicles you can customize. Now, interesting, there's no arcade mode or map editor. Map editor has always been a big part of the Far Cry experience, and there's no map editor in this one. Why they had to break the dog's legs too far? Dude, that gives you motivation to fuck everybody up. When you break a pooch's legs and he's got to run around with those little zippy things, you kill everybody that did that.
Meg said, I know she's a big fan. Far Cry was a win for her simply because of the Testy Festy and Herc.
Testy Festy.
Those must have been some of the little side characters there. Yeah, see? There it is. Revolution X.
Is an arcade rail shooter developed and published by Midway. Oh, it's a Midway joint. That makes sense.
Not getting the specifics.
Featuring the rock band Aerosmith, it features gameplay similar to Midway's earlier Terminator 2 Judgment Day.
That would be the best analogy, yeah.
Oh, I like what Forge says. Tone, you have to do a quickie review for this game. Oh, B&B quickie.
For what? For what game?
What fucking game do you think he's talking about?
Far Cry 6? I haven't played it yet.
No, you Nimrod. Your stupid Revolution X game that nobody fucking cares about.
I didn't fucking play the game. I just remember it.
Oh, now he hasn't played the game. Now you're a fraud. You're hyping up over a game that you never even played.
All I said was like it reminds me of that CD gun from that fucking Aerosmith game. That's all I said.
You're a fucking disaster.
That's all I
He's a fucking
said.
fraud. See, he couldn't do a quickie for that
you
shit.
Want a quickie for it? I don't give a fuck about Aerosmith, and they can shove the CDs up their fucking ass. Is that what you want to hear?
Oh God, here
fucking
we go.
Fuck.
God,
the only song
up.
I like really Aerosmith that I would actually care about at this point
grow up, dude,
would be "Walk This Way" with Run DMC.
You're so immature. All right, moving on from Revolution X and nobody fucking cares about.
I would stay awake.
We finally, we haven't seen shit from Dying Light 2 in over a year.
Has it been that long?
It's been over a year since we've seen anything from Dying Light. And not only did we get gameplay, we got a new title, Dying Light 2 Stay Human. Good advice. I mean, if you're in a zombie apocalypse, you kind of want to stay human.
Kinda.
So I kind of get it. I get that. But this trailer, this gameplay looks fucking awesome. This game looks really good, dude. I don't know if did you play the original Dying Light?
I dabbled in it. It always goes back to me that sometimes FPSs I lose interest really fast.
Sure.
I thought the game actually looked really great. I mean, this is a game that came out, keep in mind, in 2014 in about February.
Yep.
There was been no other game for the PlayStation 4 since launch. And this game constantly, of course, I was working at the stop then. This game was sold out for 2 months because they couldn't keep up with it because it came out and there was nothing else and it was good.
It came out at a really good time. It was like the first next gen titles.
And people fucking ate this game like right out of their ass or whatever it was.
And
they were going crazy for it.
Not only was it like the only big like next gen title, it lived up to the hype. The original Dying Light was fucking amazing.
They were adding content for years and then they added some free content. People still play that game.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still, I mean, yes, it's an older game, but like there are games that come out after it that look worse. So, so I'm not like, I'm excited because it looks good and I know people love it. For me, it's the same with Far Cry. Like I probably won't play Far Cry, but I kind of want to because Giancarlo is in it. This I kind of want to play as well too, but again, I don't know. It's always, I'm always backlogged. So, but this would be one where I'd be like, man, it'd be hard not to buy because it looks fucking awesome. Parkour games are fun. I actually really
they really nailed the parkour.
And I loved Mirror's Edge. I was one of those weirdos that loved Mirror's Edge. So when I played this, I was like, oh my god, it's like fucking Mirror's Edge. This is awesome.
Yeah, Brian makes a point. He goes, I enjoyed Dying Light 1, but the story didn't do it for me. I'm hoping this one is better. I felt like that was like the gameplay is what really made up for the Dying Light.
Oh, the gameplay is what made up for that,
It made up for it big time. Like, it was a really fucking fun game to play. Well, like I said, the parkour mechanics, the combat was solid, especially for Melee. You know, I played, what was the other one? Not Dying Light. What was the other one? Dead Island. I did not like Dead Island. I thought the melee mechanics in the game were trash. But this one felt really good. The weapons were weighted. It was a really, really, really good game. But now that you're taking this, and Brian, you talk about the story, they're adding a lot to this, you know, in terms of the story mechanics, the way it's told. There's going to be branching story arcs. There's 3 different factions that are, like, occupying this land, and they're all kind of fighting for control. They all have different ideologies. They all have different types of ideas of how they want to run the entire city if they were to take over. So you're going to have to make decisions, working with them, working against them, decisions that are going to change the arc of the story, that's going to change the outcome. So that is really cool. It's almost kind of like got like an RPG element to it now.
Well, I thought the first one kind of.
It does. You know, you've got like skills that you got to build and stuff like that, but it's going to be more of a focus on the story this time around. Like I said, like Brian's right. The story in the first one was serviceable at best, but this one, they're really putting a lot of effort into the story. So I'm actually really, really excited about that. A lot of the cool day-night mechanics are back in this one, whereas like during the day, there's still zombies around, but at night it gets really dangerous. They come out of their hives. But if you're able to infiltrate the hive, make it through there quietly, there's some awesome loot that you can gain. So there's some risk and reward to that. So there's a whole lot. Yeah, I'm really excited for this. Like I said, this gameplay trailer was dope. The parkour looks really good. The combat looks really, really good. The story elements are going to be huge. So I'm actually kind of like really, really excited for this. This comes out on December 7th of this year.
This is going to be a big seller.
This I mean, I don't know what it is, Far Cry? What's that? No, Far Cry is October 7th, 2 months prior. But no, I mean, this we're starting to see December become a hot month. You know, usually you see all the big releases hit right before Black Friday. That's like when Call of Duties and Battlefields come out. But over the last like 4 or 5 years, you're starting to see bigger titles slip into that December, that December area, and they're doing really well.
I think it's I think I'm gonna keep saying it. I think there's a Dutch door there too. I think part of it has to do with pandemic this year. I think, however, I also think that there's that value in that because a lot of people before Black Friday bust their nut on all these other games. 90% of the people, probably, or 80%, whatever the number would be, already have bought in the Call of Duties and all this other shit. Sure. And there's other people out there buying stuff. So what is that last minute like get that people are gonna want? Because if you have Dying Light, let's say Dying Light, Call of Duty, and Far Cry, right? You know, all, let's say, theoretically in like November before Black Friday. Mm-hmm. Well, mom and dad are probably going to end up buying Call of Duty because if you've got one game you're getting for Christmas or two, the good chance that they're the chat out here. I'm coming back to some of this shit.
Brian is just out of control right now.
I'm coming back to some of this shit.
I can't even read the shit.
Yeah. So, but you know, I think it's one of those things again why games has had so much success in like, you know, February and that early spring is because no one else is releasing games there.
Right.
And if there's nothing to play and nothing else to do or new, people want to buy something new every other month at least.
Well, that's exactly what it is.
And that's what's going to happen. There's no games in December. And after about mid-November, early November, there's nothing new except for, you know, wasting time on Call of Duty for the gazillionth time. So this coming out is a good idea because it is a game that people are excited about. And if it gets too close to that and they have to say, well, guess what? We'll push it out a little bit later.
Right.
No harm, no foul, because there's enough games to play in the fall, and then you'll have it in the spring when nothing else is out there anyway. So
right. No,
but it's good. It's good.
I'm excited. I mean, look at this. The game is violent. It's bloody as hell. Like you can sit there and cut off limbs, and it's just look at that heads just severed everywhere. It's zombies, man. Fucking love zombies. And Dying Light nailed it the first time, and I'm really excited for this one. It just looks really, really good. And I love the fact again that we have deeper story elements. We have factions we can either side with or go up against. It's going to make things really interesting. And if they're able to build upon what they did with the first game, this is going to be a big hit. This is going to be a huge hit.
Exciting.
A lot of people are excited for this, man. Techland is talented as fuck. And I can't wait to get my hands on this one, man. It looks really, really good.
I know there's been some developmental issues as well too, and
Brian mentioned that it has been kind of like in developmental hell, so to speak. There's been a lot of issues, a lot of stories broke about whether or not this game was even going to come out at one point. It was like dire situations over at Techland.
It's not Dead Island 2.
No, it's not. It's not Dead Island 2. Jeez, like I said, I couldn't. Did you ever play the Dead Island games?
No.
They were fucking trash. I just did not like those games like at all.
4 or 5 people liked them.
We don't know the specifics on the co-op yet. There was co-op in the original. Hopefully, we'll have the same co-op here. It would be a lot of fun to traverse this world with the friends. So, December 7th, Dying Light 2, Stay Human. Sweet title,
More
man.
human than human.
More human. Yeah, Stay Human. That's a sweet title. Hope the factions are better than Cyberpunk. I hope everything's better than Cyberpunk. I hope everything about every game is better than Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk sucks.
So Revolution X came out on June 16th because they knew that there wasn't many games coming out over the summer. At most, great games come out in the fall, so they knew they would be able to catch the wide audience. There's a whole bit going on out here, and I saw Cherry got mad because I was a little critical about Aerosmith.
Well, no, see, now I do have an issue with that. Like, this game sounds fucking stupid, but I do like.
I'm
Aerosmith.
not saying the game was. I didn't like I said. I didn't play. I just recall the game being a thing, and shocking. It was something that was in the arcade, and the Sega brought it over to the Sega CD. That's all I'll say about that. But
what's your problem with Aerosmith?
Well, it's Aerosmith. Big whoop. If you name your top 10 bands,
Explain yourself.
You explain yourself.
You're the one saying they're meh, and they're more than meh.
If I were to name my top 10 bands, maybe
this should
of the
be
80s,
fucking
I'm
rich.
not going to.
Let me guess, Van Halen.
No, I don't really care for Van Halen's all right.
Oh, okay, well, that's all we needed to hear.
But, listen, Aerosmith's all right, but they don't get me excited now. If we want to say something like Motley Crue or Twisted Sister, sure.
Yeah.
But
Can't argue that.
I mean, Aerosmith, come on. Really? Come on. What are we doing there?
Cherry, I can't stop this guy. I like Aerosmith, but
they said Aerosmith's best song is when they, did Walk This Way with Run DMC. It was one of the first big crossovers of genres.
Dream On, come on, man. Dream On's a dope ass song.
Listen, I do like Dream On, and I do like some of their songs. It's not somebody I go, man, you know what I want to listen to today? Fucking let's put some Aerosmith on. I'm usually not doing that. I'm usually taking a hammer to my nutsack.
You got your fucking Van Halen on playlist ready to go.
Aerosmith
in the car,
is
right?
better than the bands you just named. That's actually not true. I'm sorry to tell you.
Fortunately, Van Halen better than Aerosmith. I'll die on that hill. Woo!
I would probably actually agree with that in the end because Eddie Van Halen was an amazing guitar player. Yeah, there you go. That's it. Yeah, hop for teacher.
Jump.
Go ahead and jump.
Guess you're dying.
Well, I mean, sorry.
Wow,
I'm just saying, Eddie Van Halen dies, everybody fucking stops, the world stops. I'm pretty sure if Joe or somebody from Aerosmith died, 3 people will cry and move on with their day.
Don't piss off Cherry, man, because the next time we have community night, she's gonna kill us over and over.
I like getting her a little worked up. That was pretty funny.
Well, she's worked up. Good job.
I'm saying, Motley Crue, what's up?
Nickelback. That's who he is. He's a Chad Kroger guy, huh? Nickelback. Look at this photograph. That's a good song, man. That's your favorite. Rolling his window up. Okay, all right, that's cool, man.
No Great Papon.
Last game we want to talk about is a game that I'm really excited about. I don't know, and I know Al Blanco has played it. I know he knows of this. Origami 2. And I am really, really, oh my God, Chad Kroger is cooler than Fanboy. Oh, we will. Now, if none of you have played or heard of Origami, that's okay. It's a smaller title from an indie developer, Linceworks, and it dropped, I want to say it was 2018, 2017, 2018 on PS4 and Xbox One. And at the time, it was a really, really good. It's a ninja game. It's a stealth game. You have all these different stealth abilities that you unlock along the way. It features fantastic combat. It requires great replacement to Tenchu. That's a great point right there.
You just gave me a boner.
And no, this game, it's incredibly challenging. But it is so rewarding when you can kind of time things out and make your way through a level, especially if you go stealthy and you're not alerting anybody like I always typically do when I try to be stealthy. But the interesting thing about the original Origami is on PlayStation 4 especially, I think on Xbox it ran okay. It was a little choppy still, but they added the ability to unlock the frame rate on the PS4 and the Xbox One, and it wasn't ideal. But man, if you play these games on PlayStation 5 or Xbox Series X with the unlocked frame rate, it is a silky fucking smooth 60 frames. Now, what's interesting about this iteration, this new one, obviously you got the skill tree, everything's still intact there, but it has 3-player co-op. You're going to be able to go through these missions with 2 of your friends, which is fucking awesome because these levels are elaborate. There's a lot of different ways to approach. There's a lot of enemies you have to take down. All of them have different abilities. This shit is going to be hype. September 17th this year, Linksworks. It'll be on Xbox Series X, PlayStation 5. Keep your eyes out on this one. It's going to be a fun co-op game. The gameplay is always really, really good. This is going to be sweet, man. I am so excited for Origami 2. And if you get a chance, the soundtrack by Four Feathers is available on most streaming services. That's one of the best soundtracks from last gen. It is that good.
Origami?
Yep. Origami soundtrack is fucking amazing. Really excited for Origami 2. If you haven't checked it out, find it on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, especially if you have one of the next-gen systems. Run it unlocked frame rate. It is a beautiful... Yeah, it was on Games of Gold a while back. Yes, it was. And it is just it runs so smooth.
I got to download it, actually.
It is so good. Definitely worth a look. Cannot wait for that on September 17th.
I heard, actually, one of the pre-order bonuses for Origami 2 right now is you get the CD gun from Revolution X. Like Shurikens, but CDs.
How long were you sitting on that one, dude?
Good 30 seconds.
How are you doing?
All right.
You good?
Yeah, I'm all right.
Oh, man. Are we going to go 2 shows without you pissing?
See.
Holy shit. I'm scared. All right. So that's it for all the gaming. That's everything we got right now. Now, next week, we'll have a lot to talk about, I'm sure, depending on what kind of releases or what kind of announcements are made prior to E3.
Well, there'll be a release or two. But
there'll be some wild shit going throughout next week, so we'll have more to talk about. And then E3 begins on June 10th, and it ends on June 15th, which will be right when our show the following show will be on June, what's today's date? June 2nd. So June 16th. We'll have a lot to talk about. We'll do a major recap on E3. That'll be really exciting. So stay tuned to that. We'll have a lot of gaming news going forward. I know we've been kind of in a lull in terms of gaming news, but we're here at E3. It's approaching. A lot of shit's going on. And then obviously, we get the fall rush later this year. So gaming is still going to be a big part of Banter and Babble.
I got a feeling that E3 might be a little bit of a letdown this year.
Think so? Oh, really? Why is that?
Pandemic. I think we're getting a lot of fucking blue balls and long-time trailers for games that aren't going to be out for a while.
Wow.
Because they're having a hard time getting things about. I mean, I guess maybe things are better now, but I don't know. I have a feeling that this E3 is going to be meh, and I think it's again because they don't have the systems out that they want to, and some of the announcements are going to kind of like subpar. Right. I mean, I'm hoping it's not. Clearly, I don't want that to be the case, but I just got a feeling like every few years you get an E3, it's kind of a dud. So, and the fact that it's very. I mean, for the last decade, everybody's like, "We're not going to E3. We're doing our own thing. We're not." Wait. I don't understand all the companies crying. I don't. It's been so long. I don't even remember. But I just know, like, typically in the past, it's always been like Sunday or Mondays led with Sony, and then you got Microsoft, and then Nintendo does their own thing with the Direct or whatever. It just feels like so mismatched. Yeah, mismatched this year. And like, listen, we're all online and we watch stuff online anyway, so it don't matter. But why does it not feel like E3? Right. It just seems kind of weird to me. So
I mean, there's the notion going around that E3 is just kind of like dying off.
It's been for a decade. It's been insane,
and everyone's kind of breaking off and doing their own thing. Sony doesn't even fucking go. Nintendo just shows up with directs.
Right.
So I mean, yeah, E3 has kind of lost its luster, and that's just simply because it's easier to stream shit. You reach a wider audience. Why sit there and pay a bunch of money to have booths set up and all that stuff when you can just release a video on fucking YouTube and Twitch, and you've already got 7 million views as opposed to a couple of thousand people that show up at E3.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're reaching a wider audience. We had a good question from Crash. What are your dream announcements for E3? Now, let me have SOCOM. What is a dream announcement? What is something, whether it's from Microsoft, Nintendo, or Sony, what is something you would love to hear?
Knights of the Republic remake.
Ooh, a Knights
full-on
of the
remake. Knights, or the old school.
Knights of the Republic. Ooh, that'd be
the Star Wars.
I know there's some folks in our Discord that are big on Knights of the Republic. I think El Blanco plays that.
That would be, yeah. I'm not talking like the MMO, like Knights of the Republic. I gotta be careful. I know that's kind of tricky with that. But yeah, I need to see reality first.
I mean, I don't think it hasn't been officially announced though.
Yeah, until I actually see a true announcement, I don't even entertain that idea of excitement. Another Jedi Academy, something Star Wars definitely would get me excited. I think for E3. I mean, clearly SOCOM. I know you're taking that one, but outside of that, man, like I really want to see more on this Visceral group doing that. I can't think of the name of it because I always forget that sci-fi horror that's basically like Dead Space or something like that. I do want to see more of that. That's probably my most ambitious and want to see title, but we've already had titles announced. I want new shit, but I don't want shit that's also going to come out in 3 years. So
Callisto, there it is. Callisto Protocol.
That's the one.
That's the one, Brian. That's the one he's talking about,
That's the
Brian.
one. Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah,
That's the one.
the original the trailer that they showed, the announcement trailer looked
That's the
very
most
Dead Spacey.
That's the most want game I want this generation or to know about is Callisto Protocol, even over God of War.
There was a Star Wars arcade style fighting game that I would if the
You talking about the Masters of the Terracase from like PlayStation?
Diablo 4 or Half-Life 3 with an open beta and a release date. Diablo 4 I'm curious about.
Okay, Diablo 4, that's a good get. Yeah,
I'm
one
curious
cherry,
about Diablo 4. We need to see some more of that. Obviously, I would love to see. I just want. It doesn't have to be so common. I just need a competitive multiplayer shooter. Look, Rainbow Six Siege is fucking awesome, but I'm so far removed from that. I haven't played it in so long that if I tried to jump in that, even with a squad of friends, we would just get wiped. I mean, it is just the creme de la creme, the sweatiest players on there, and I respect that. I love competitive shooters. Destiny 2 is not doing it for me in terms of like the competitive multiplayer front. Trials of Osiris is a mess. Stasis is just. I want a shooter that's more dependent on the actual gunplay.
It's a shame that Ghost Recon moved away from that and that they didn't go more with the SOCOM route.
You know, they did have an dude. Ghost Recon Wildlands actually does have a multiplayer component that's very, very very interesting. It obviously it's on the back burner. It doesn't get the attention that the single player does. But I actually jumped into the multiplayer. The multiplayer is actually very intense.
Yeah,
it's actually really, really good. But there was just no like. The focus wasn't on it. They didn't market it. It was all about the single player experience.
It's a shame.
But I need a multiplayer shooter that's new, that I can get in at the ground level and just really spend my time playing. Destiny 2 is becoming more of a PvE thing for me. I've been doing more raids and I'm having a lot of fun with that. But when I jump into Trials of Osiris and Stasis is in there and you take the focus off the gunplay and you're more dependent on your abilities and your supers and ultimates, I can't do that shit, man. Like in the PvE side of things or even Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter. That was a really good. Future Soldier was fucking underrated.
Very underrated.
Ghost Recon Future Soldier was absolutely
that first
fucking
trailer where they show
awesome.
You one of active camo.
Dude, I loved hacking people. So you reveal the rest of their team. That's all I would do. That's all I would do is just hack people. Ghost Recon Future Soldier was fucking wholly underrated, and it sucked, dude. Because by the time the first DLC came out, where they added new maps, that game was dead. It was dead. You couldn't find a fucking lobby. I was so disappointed. That soldier didn't have much of a future. No, it did not, Brian. That thing was dead.
Yeah, we got to get Diablo 4. I know for the rumor of the Mando game, not Mando. Yeah, it's not one of those things, though, Blanco, or just like at some point, like I give up on those kind of things. GTA 6. There's always somebody in the crowd that cares about that much. I get it. And yeah, it's Rockstar. I'm gonna guess no. We're not gonna see anything on that, but I understand why people would want to.
Mm-hmm.
I always play through the stories at the very least. Soldier didn't have. Yeah, it's funny. Time Splitters. That rumor has been getting kicked around.
Actually, I think they just announced that Time Splitters was.
Wasn't there?
No,
was there?
Time Splitters is getting a reboot. There's something happening with Time Splitters. I did see something regarding it. I didn't get the story on it, but I do know Time Splitters was. Yeah, Time Splitters was announced. Yep, I do remember seeing something pop up about that. Yeah, but I just need a good competitive shooter that I can jump into with friends and learn it from the ground up and just really get into it. You know what I'm saying? That's more focused on gunplay. I need a multiplayer shooter bad. And, you know, dude, if I don't get a SOCOM, you know what I'm going to be looking at, dude? Fucking Halo Infinite. That's honestly what I'm going to be looking at in the fall. If I can't get SOCOM, which is my baby, that's like the most competitive shooter that I've ever played in my entire life. If I can't get that, I'm going to be playing Halo Infinite, dude. I mean, it's more about gunplay there than it is bullshit and your supers and all that stuff. It is all about gunplay. Play the new shooter Counter-Strike. Lots of noobs are learning the game.
Right.
I jump into Counter-Strike and just get my tits pushed in. No, I'm good on that, dude. I don't need that shit. All right, let's move
Good talk,
on.
everybody.
Good conversation, though, you guys. Good conversation. That was a good question. There's a lot of stuff I would love to see. Outside of SOCOM, would love to see, you know, it's obviously Insomniac, and they're working on Ratchet right now. Would love to see a hint towards a Resistance reboot. Would love to see a Resistance reboot.
Hear that
Something Resistance would be pretty cool, but I don't know, man. I have no idea what else. I don't know what would really blow me away. I mean, I'm set in stone on the games that I want to see, but I'm just more or less hoping that Microsoft and Sony and Nintendo can throw something out there that is just unexpected. You know, I don't mind that they dig into their old IPs and they try to reboot stuff, but it's the new IPs sometimes that make me just shit. That could be fucking cool, considering that studio's DNA or that developer's DNA. I'd like to see something new IPs. Those always get me going too.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, moving on. we have a trailer to discuss. And a trailer dropped this week.
We did.
And it's for a movie called Infinite. And it stars Mark Wahlberg playing Mark Wahlberg.
Say hello to your mother for me, okay?
Say hello to your mother for me. Let's check out this trailer for Infinite, dropping June 10th on Paramount Plus. Do I have to buy another fucking subscription to watch this movie?
Hey, you man. My problem.
What a piece of shit. Let's check this out.
You are an infinite.
An eternal?
Right.
Evan Macaulay. Diagnosed with schizophrenia at 14. After carving the words, look inside, into your chest with a box cutter. Look inside.
That's it.
Why those words? Which one of these is yours?
Look, you could skip the whatever the hell this is because none of that is mine.
Was it yours?
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about.
Jesus! Every time you say, I don't know, this trigger gets pulled. Is it yours?
Look, I don't know.
Are you out of your mind? Last chance, Evan. Is this yours? Hello, old friend.
Oh, get in.
This isn't your first life, Evan. You are an infinite. You've lived and died 1,000 times.
You're talking about reincarnation.
If you can remember who you were, you will understand who you can become.
Trailer. You see that?
The Camaro
Whatever it was.
from Magnum PI.
Yeah.
Cannot confirm. Lowlander. Highlander. Lowlander.
Fucking goddamn it.
Yeah,
That's
Brian, I actually agree with Brian. The concept seems cool. I
Yeah.
like the fact that he's been reincarnated. He's been around for over 1,000 years. But yeah, it's all about the execution. Whether or not this is going to have like some thought-provoking stuff. Whenever you get into like time travel or things like that, infinite lives,
You gotta be careful.
you got to be very, very careful. The action looks pretty nice. The chase through the office building was pretty wild. But I mean, now watch the iCarly reboot trailer, you cowards. I don't even know what iCarly is.
I agree with that, Cherry. I think that this is gonna be a borderline. It's gonna be one of those ones like concept looks cool, but did we just see all the movie in the trailer? And once you watch it, you're like, man, okay.
I mean, the cast is there. I butchered this guy's name. Chiwetel Ejiofor? I butchered that. Anyways,
I'm leaving you out there on that one.
Dylan O'Brien, Jason Mantzoukas, Sophie Cookson. I mean, and it's directed by Antoine Fuqua, and I love Training Day. I mean, this guy is a talented director.
And Equalizer, actually.
Yeah, Equalizer is fucking dope. So I mean, there's a lot of talent involved here, but like Cherry Scooch said, this is gonna be a borderline. This is either gonna be really good. It's gonna have to have the story. Like I said, you mess around with reincarnation and timelines and stuff like that. It has to be smart. It has to be witty. Mark Wahlberg, love him or hate him. I mean, some movies I think he's good. Other movies I think he's just too much Mark Wahlberg. I just want to know if they're gonna show Wahlberg as a Ming Dynasty warlord. I really hope so. And he just says, "Say hello to your mother for me." Like, because they mentioned he's been around for 1,000 years. So where are they? How far back are we going to see Mark Wahlberg?
What's up? You're a goat. That's pretty cool.
It's Marky Mark. I don't know. He's been pretty terrible in his last few movies. I mean, I just like look, man. Every time I see Marky Mark in a movie, he's Marky Mark. It's Marky Mark playing Marky Mark. It's just it is what it is. Chiwetel Ejiofor. Thank you, man. Crash came in with the fucking pronunciation and everything. I still butchered it. Fun fact: my sister is kind of dating his nephew. Free burgers for me soon. Oh wow, you get a Wahlburger. Have you ever had a Wahlburger?
No, they sound overrated.
Sounds like somebody who hasn't had a Wahlburger. Well, sounds
we got
overrated.
Gabby's like 10 minutes away. I don't care.
Gabby's is good as hell, dude. You know who else makes a good burger? Freezy. Eats Gabby's. Freezy's. Whoa! Holy smokes!
Captain Excitement over here.
I'm talking about burgers, and
watch the fucking stream deck. Good thing you didn't hit the wrong button. His pee-pee
talk
would
about
play
burgers, man. I get excited.
Oh, those greasy meat!
Those burgers were good as fuck. I'm telling you guys.
I wouldn't know.
But this is dropping on June 10th on Paramount Plus. How much is Paramount Plus? I gotta buy a fucking new streaming service.
Not my problem, man. Good on you.
You're a piece of shit. I bet Five Guys and Halo Burger shits on Wahlburgers. Man, I bet you White Castle shits on Wahlburgers.
No, you just get the shits from eating White Castle, bro. That's a whole different story.
But they're so good.
They are
man.
not good. Not good. Nobody says
Is it
that.
Altered Carbon season 1 or 2? That's the real question.
That's a good.
That's a
there
good
you go,
question.
Trick. There you go. Trick figured it out.
Is this gonna be season 1 or season 2?
I didn't see any Anthony Mackie in here, so.
Oh, no Wahlburger slander in this stream. Brian is a Wahlburgers guy.
Are you? Cool. How are they doing?
Are they good? I mean, honestly, Brian, I don't know what the price is. Paramount Plus is $9.99 a month.
For what? This movie? What else? I mean,
hey man, it's Mark Wahlberg.
No,
come
on.
No,
I don't remember what. I don't. You know what? Listen, my bad, by the way, everybody, for bringing this into the world
for trashing
for years
Smith.
ago, getting rid of cable
around.
and being mad at cable for not giving me a la carte. Now here we are. We're getting a la carte, but we're paying way more than we should be for all these fucking apps.
For Shamrock, I'll eat at Five Guys when they actually cook a burger to order a not hockey puck level.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah. When everybody talks about Five Guys and the burgers, but they don't talk about the burgers, it's about the French fries, you can file that under I don't give a fuck.
And look at Brian. I've never had a Wahlburger in my life, but Marky Mark seems nice, so I'll stand. Oh my god! This is why we can't have nice things with Brian.
I lost
man.
respect for them when they tried to make a Chicago style not
a hot dog
as a burger.
They made a Chicago style
Who did
hot
that?
dog.
White Castle did?
Don't tell me Wahlburgers did that.
Please tell me they did.
Cherry Squishy, please don't tell me Wahlburgers tried to make a
Oh yeah,
Chicago
by the way,
style.
everybody out there, just so you're aware, Freezy, I see you out there. If you can hear me, I just checking for my invite. Maybe it got lost in the mail. But
yeah,
he got lost in the mail.
You got pictures. It's like Wahlburgers tried making a Chicago style hot dog as a burger.
I think Five Guys is super overrated. You guys can write that down too.
Oh
so
my god, do you just try to pick a fight with everyone in the chat?
It's fucking overrated. Hey, listen, if you haven't had something from like Gabby's or a real gourmet burger or something good, I mean, listen, it's not much more than a fucking greasy ass Rally's burger. It's just like, oh, we got our fries from a different fucking state today. Fucking awesome. I'm not saying that Five Guys is bad. I'm just saying it's completely overrated. Like this shows everybody's bar down here.
Wow. Okay. Well, Tone's out here kicking everyone's ass. As a kid,
it's a local joint out here. It used to be Jay Hill. You remember it used to be Cookies Bulldog
on
Swan Creek in 52.
Yep, Swan Creek in 52.
They make the best burgers around.
Gabby's is pretty fucking good, dude.
Yeah, it's like gourmet burgers. They got 20 different gourmet burgers. They put them on a ciabatta bun so like it doesn't grease through very easily.
It's really good.
They'll cook them to order as well too, and they don't taste like a Five Guys hockey puck. Oh, I can eat the Five Guys, and they put an extra layer of cheese in there to slide down easier. Woo!
Oh my gosh! All right, let's move on to our final topic before you get out of control. Okay, yeah, you can't compare a local place to a chain. You really can't.
You really can't. No.
To
be fair,
impossible.
you can't.
Or I don't even have to go to a local place. I just go to Freezy's. Saying.
Yeah, cool.
He makes a better burger than anybody.
It's a rumor.
Yep, it's not a rumor. It's a fact.
Sure.
All right. Moving on to our final. Oh, wait, hold on. Are you doing? Are you seriously going 2 shows?
Just move along, motherfucker. We doing this.
Oh my god, you guys, 2 shows. I can't even use the Tone Tinkle time anymore.
Yeah, we'll be able to sometime. Someday I'll drink more.
Moving on. We are going to talk about the latest issue, or latest episode of Star Wars: The Bad Batch.
Yeah.
Which was actually really good, and we got to see some cool stuff in it.
Yeah.
And a little bit of confusion, myself included. I talked to you about it today.
Yep, we
all
were.
Hit us.
I'm going to be very honest with you. I thought I was actually this was a weak episode for me. I had a hard time keeping interest into it. Yeah. Which that's more, I think, on me. By the time we were watching it, I was really exhausted. We had a massive dinner at Cody's. I was like on half pass out, and I was having a hard time focusing on it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, and I get that it's a cartoon, and I love like even how Mando like has these like one-offs, and it's like kind of under the overall arc. It just was one of those episodes that was super forgettable for me. Like, it was cool to see like Bib Fortuna. That was really exciting. But again, because it wasn't the actual Rancor that came full circle. That wasn't that. So it's kind of been like, eh. So
basically, the Bad Batch is tasked with rescuing a baby Rancor from slave traders, and immediately once we seen what's his name again, Bib was over talking to, is it Cecil, or is that her name? Cecil or something like that. I think that was her name. Immediately I was like, oh, he's the one that wants the Rancor. I'm like, oh, wait a minute, is that the Rancor from Return of the Jedi?
Yeah.
And I sent you a text. I was like, dude, that's pretty crazy. You're like, yeah, but it's not that Rancor. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
And lo and behold, obviously this Rancor's name was Munchi. And the Rancor in Return of the Jedi was Patissa.
Yeah.
So not the same Rancor that Jabba showed up, which is weird.
Makes sense because in the old lore, the original Rancor was raised by, I can't think of his name, the creature handler, his name that was crying when he died. There's a whole background story to that too, in some of the short stories.
Was it really?
Yeah, it was a crazy good short story too. Those short stories back in the day were really good. I mean, it'd be a novel this thick, and like you'd have like 15 different short stories that would flesh out characters that would just had a scene. And the Rancor and the creature handler had a really good write up in there too. But so it made sense because he wasn't around. And sometimes I don't think Disney always though it is Filoni, follow some of that old lore as well as we'd like. But yeah, I did like the episode was like I get it. It was fun. It just for me, like it really, it was cool. Listen, it was cool seeing Bib, and it was cool to have a tie-in to definitely like the OG trilogy and things like that. But and I like the stuff like even the what was the Trandoshans name again, that the lady there, the fucking whatever her name, the one that was had him do the job,
right?
Whatever.
I want to say it was something with this. I can't remember
either offhand. And she was, I think there's more to her,
absolutely,
as well, which I really liked. So
they alluded to that at the end.
Yeah, I like all that. She gave him information and kind of more allure to who's really pulling some strings, or who's paying her, or Fenric, whatever like that. But it was just a good cartoon episode. I wanted more of the story moving along, because I felt like even though we've got a lot of the cartoon episodes separately, I wanted the story to keep going on, because I've got a lot of questions more about Omega, and
right.
it's that Star Wars speculation we all start to do like we do with everything else. So there's like some form of like expectation or hype or whatever it is. So I just want that story to move forward.
Still pretty cool to see Wrecker take down a Rancor.
That was pretty funny, actually. I thought that was cool.
I thought that was really cool.
Rancor.
Crash says, I'm kind of glad it wasn't the same Rancor. As a huge Star Wars fan, I don't really see the need for every bit of lore to be connected to a past event. I feel like it makes the galaxy seem small.
That's a very good point. I think that's a really great perspective. I normally sit in that camp a lot, but the thing is that Rancors are something that isn't typically something you see a ton of anyways.
Sure.
And when you see Bib Fortuna, you kind of have this expectation or thought process that it would be, because when's the other time you've seen Bib Fortuna around a Rancor? Well, at Jabba's palace. So why wouldn't anyone have this like thought process or expectation or want for that to be the same Rancor? So
I wonder if that's why they made it such a point to mention the name Munchi or whatever its name is.
Maybe, yeah.
And
right.
I remember reading somewhere else, somebody made a good point saying it would be kind of weird to have like this cute little Rancor be the one that gets its head slammed in with spikes on the door.
Which is true too.
It would be kind of weird, oh, this guy's so cute, but oh wait, it's gonna get pieced out in a horrific way. But apparently, even Munchi is a female Rancor, whereas Patissa was a male Rancor. So you got that differentiating point as well. But yeah, it would be kind of weird to be like, oh, it's so cute how it wants to, it's still here. Oh, but it dies a horrible death.
But it dies a horrible death. So, but there were some other good characters I think they kind of introduced as well too. There's some fun stuff going on. That weapon that Omega was using, was that like the bow or whatever that was?
Yeah.
That's interesting. I'd like to know more about things like that, of course. But yeah, I just felt like after the last episodes, even like the slow episodes of the first 2 or 3, after the first episode of the Bad Batch, it kind of slowed down a little bit. It still felt like the story was progressing.
Sure.
Where it just didn't feel like this one really did a whole lot, and I was kind of bummed about that.
Yeah, this I enjoyed the episode. I thought it was good, but I also felt like it was. I feel like we're getting to that point now where it's like we're just running missions again throughout the galaxy, like little missions here, and it wasn't, like you said, a whole big. It didn't move the story forward too much.
Yeah,
we didn't get a whole lot of the Omega stuff, which I think is what everyone's really interested in. It was more or less just side quest. It was a side quest episode.
And I get it, and like I completely understand it. I'm not mad about it. I just felt like one of the weaker episodes, and I had a harder time keeping my interest. Like the Rancor.
Do you think that was kind of like one of the odd choices because it's not the Rancor that everyone's familiar with?
It just felt a little clowny to me.
Yeah.
And and I get it. It's a cartoon, so it's not always going to be meant for me. But it just felt a little tmoocclowny for me, I guess. I don't know.
Crash says it could be its baby. There were other big bones in the pit when Luke was down there.
Maybe
Moochie gave birth to Patissa, and Patissa ate Moochie. That's sad. That would seem very Rancorish.
Why not?
Yeah, the child eats the mom. It's fucked up.
Sounds
pretty dope.
Sounds like
though.
something that would be living on Dathomir, yeah.
But again, I just the thing that keeps you going with the show is just the camaraderie between the batch. I love Wrecker. I love Wrecker more and more. I'm curious to what's going on with Wrecker though, with his little headaches.
I'm pretty sure that's the chip trying to get through. Is that the
chip trying to get through to him? Yeah, because you see that it's been the last 2 episodes.
It's going to come up. It's going to come to a head, and I think.
Do you think Crosshair has anything to do with that?
No, I don't. Well, I mean, that's going to come again. He's going to be involved somehow again, but maybe. I mean, I guess maybe he. Who knows? Maybe they
or something. I don't know. But
I think he's got a chip. I think it's partly defective, and it's going to come back around. But I'm hoping.
Wrecker would be a tough one to have to deal with if he has chip.
I don't think anybody wants to see anything bad happen to Wrecker.
No, man, Wrecker is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I love Wrecker. He's just a big dumb idiot who cares about Omega, and
yeah.
He's always trying to do what's right for the squad, and.
You
don't want to see anything bad happen to a Wrecker? I'll stop watching this fucking show if something bad happens to Wrecker. He turns into a bad guy.
We got an El Blanco.
Bad Batch, more like Delta Squad ripoff. Oh man, Blanco can't let it go. Can't let it go. Awesome. But I know I thought it was a good episode. I know you weren't too big on it, but again, we're just 5 episodes into
right
16. So.
I mean, honestly, like a Met episode of that is still better than a lot of things that you could watch on TV or listen to, like Aerosmith.
Absolutely. And Tone?
Yeah.
I think that's it for tonight, dude.
Oh, is it?
I think that is the final topic of the evening. Now, look, next week, we have quite a few things we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about Bad Batch again, the latest episode. We are also going to talk about 2 movies.
2 movies. If you got time to watch them, we're able to watch them.
Spiral is available now to be rented as well as it's available in the theater. So we'll be watching Spiral. That is the latest in the Saw entry movies. And on Friday night on HBO Max, Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It. The latest Conjuring movie will be available on HBO Max. We're going to watch those 2 movies this weekend. Bad Batch, whatever gaming news comes up, if anything else gets added to that list, we will definitely update you in the Discord. We'll let you know what we're watching. But those are the main 3 things we'll be talking about, plus whatever video game stuff drops throughout the week, over the weekend, what have you. And we'll also talk about Operation Tango, which, again, we'll be streaming Friday night, 9 p.m. right here on Twitch. Should be a good time. Tony and I are going to yell at each other, get drunk, and fail missions over and over and over and over again.
And before I do say what I got to say, yes, there was an announcement tonight, Cherry. Thank you for bringing that up. There's 2 brief ones I do want to mention. Jupiter's Legacy right now is getting put on the back burner as far as the Miller Universe goes with Netflix. It's very, very frustrating and unfortunate. I'm completely confused by it. Like, I know dude wasn't fully on board with it he's got some great gripes with it. And people do agree with those. I don't think you were alone on that. However, I think for the most part, a lot of us were really enjoying certain aspects of it to enough where a lot of people had seen it and were, having a good time, want more. It was left in a cliffhanger. So it's a weird move. I'd love to know more the in and outs of why that's happening the way it is. So that's a big bummer. 2, it was announced this week that once again, just like Power Rangers, except not yearly, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is getting another reboot. starting in 2022 or
2023 is when it comes out.
And the one and only Seth Rogen's got his hand in it. And if you are familiar with Seth Rogen, have his hand in stuff, usually it spins out pretty top notch for the most part. So a big super nerd about a lot of things. And he had a big hand in the Preacher TV series adapted from graphic novel that was pretty awesome for the most part. And you know, some of the movies that he's done, like Disaster. I mean, a lot of that stuff he's more either probably produced or just been involved in.
El Blanco, that game has not come out yet. We are still waiting for an official due date on that, but or a release date. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game. Remember that one that we saw that looked really, really good?
Oh, yeah. We still don't know anything about that.
We're still waiting for a release date on that. I do want to play that. That looks fucking great. Going back to the Jupiter's Legacy thing, this gives Netflix this gives them plenty of time to come up with somebody that can do better special effects and get a better lead actor other than Josh Duhamel.
So there's that. However,
as
good of a perspective as those are, like overall the show was pretty interesting, I feel like, and I was pretty engaged with a lot of the story, and you know, but who knows why they're doing that. But those kind of two small announcements that kind of busted out this week as well too. And Nickelodeon has Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles has done a great job with it. The one prior to this shit one that came out that has shitty animation and was based more off the look and aesthetic of Michael Bay's produced bullshit movies. The one prior to that, the actual good Nickelodeon one that had like Sean Astin doing the voice of some of the characters.
Oh, Sean Astin did the voice?
Yeah, he did like Raphael or Mike or something like that. That series was amazing and ran for a good 6, 7, 8 years, and you know, that's pretty exciting to have more in Seth Rogen.
Pretty sweet.
Other than that, the last thing I do want to say, I want to make sure I do say this more often, so hopefully you guys can help remind me or that whatnot too. But as always, we want to thank you guys for all the time you put into us, whether it's Twitter, Facebook, Discord. Here, clearly, almost every week, some of you guys come back. Even if you can't make it every week, some of you I know catch us on Spotify, YouTube, wherever it is. You actually do let us know.
Crowd is growing
yeah,
really nicely.
And we appreciate that. You know, we'd love if you could be here live and chat with us. We'd love if you could watch it on YouTube, since you know, dude puts so much work into the production of the show. But the only thing we'll ever ask you guys to do outside of maybe, you know, making me dinner or bringing me a 6-pack of beer would be share us wherever you see us out there. If you enjoy the content and you're here weekly, and you know somebody in your family or a friend that might enjoy us because of the content we produce, or maybe they just want to be entertained by me and laugh at dude or something like that, send them a link to Banter and Babble, whether it's on Twitch, YouTube, you know, Spotify, iTunes, Anchor, if you just use that as well too. You know, we want to continue to grow. We want to continue to bring content for everybody. And even when weeks like this, when there's not a ton of content, maybe just a bunch of trailers, you know, even if we have 3 topics, sitting here and chatting with you guys and drinking is still, you know, a great plan and something for me to do throughout the week. So, you know, I just appreciate all of you. But that's the one big ask that I probably will have, or we probably would have, is just continue to help us word of mouth. It's been so big. We grow really actually very well, and we're very happy with the growth.
Yeah.
But I think we just want to continue to blow up and, you know, move to Malibu.
And we want to get your thoughts, too. Make sure you keep sending that feedback. You know, a lot of you reach out, whether it's on Facebook or it's on Twitter or in the Discord. Send us your feedback, things you want us to do with the show, different things you want us to try out, different things you want us to talk about. Are you talking about the stream or the blue pill there? We want to get your thoughts, though. Your feedback is what keeps the show progressing. We never want to get complacent. We never want to rest on our laurels. We want to constantly improve and make more content that you guys and girls will enjoy. Also, you mentioned Anchor. I don't know if Anchor isn't an app most people download. They mostly use like Spotify and stuff.
Yeah.
But on Anchor, one thing I want to point out to those of you that are listening on all those podcast services, if you download Anchor and look up Banter and Babble, you can actually send voice messages through there. So if you have a question or if you want to chime in on a topic or something you want us to address on the next show, send us a voice message. We can download it, run it through the stream here so you can hear the question, and we can actually talk about it live on the show.
Go.
We want to get those of you listening involved as well. We appreciate your support. You're always listening, downloading, and whatnot. We want to get you involved in the show. So if you have comments, questions, or anything, the Anchor app is really, really good because it allows you to directly reach out to content creators on there and with voice messages. So it's pretty dope. It's really, really cool stuff. But yeah, like Tone said, we appreciate your support. You guys and girls being here every single week, being a part of the Discord, being a part of the chat, even whether it's a live B&B or when we're doing a community night or just a live stream. Your support is invaluable, and we appreciate each and every one of you very, very much. And you're the reason we do this. Simple. The reason we do it.
Yeah.
So, Fanboy Tone, I'm the Dude79. Hope everyone has a great weekend. Stay cool. It's supposed to be really fucking hot in Michigan. Like unbearably hot, 95. Garbage weather. We'll be live Friday night, 9 p.m. right here. And then next week, Wednesday, back at it, Banter and Babble. We'll see you then. Be good, everybody.